It's always hard to stop a conversation and then restart it in a natural way after you smoke pot at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. It's just one of those things, right?
That's a lot of ifs, yeah.
There's too much going on.
Yeah.
We can't be asked to start and stop a conversation.
That was pretty smooth. He was just like, hey, we're going. Okay, go.
Yeah, there's the pauses are weird, man.
Yeah.
Like, and start the show. Da, 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 da.
It's weird when you got to listen to a whole theme song, and then you like got to wait, and then like how long does this go?
That was the wrong way to do it. We made a few mistakes. The big one was, oh, is that me? Whoops. I haven't done that in a long time. I thought I had this closed. I swear to God I did.
How come the Apple thing, when you hit your Apple TV, presses play on your fucking iTunes on your computer?
Does it?
Yeah, all the time. You're like, no, stop that one, just that one.
Oh, no. I didn't know
both.
that. Oh, no.
It hits them both.
So if you have Apple TV and the computer open at the same time, so if you're watching it on TV and you have your computer open,
or if you have a QuickTime file on the desktop, it just plays that.
Oh, wow. How annoying.
Yeah. I had to have blockers for the sensor. Sometimes even when it's closed, it still starts it up.
Dude, my fucking phone started making my computer ring the other day.
Making your
Remember
computer
that?
ring?
Yeah, we were in here and my computer was ringing. I was like, what kind of dog shit
Yeah, I'm sure they're not watching
is
us.
this?
I'm sure they're not watching us. Yeah. I'm sure it's totally not interconnected and they already look at everything we do. Come on.
Come on.
They're fucking up. We don't even notice it.
I know. It's pretty
How
nuts.
is it making your computer ring?
Dude, my phone made my computer ring. They're connected in some way. Some new update.
Yeah,
some new update made my phone made my computer ring. Like, what? What are we doing here?
Those
what are we
updates
doing?
change your life.
We are just giving into the Borg. Why don't we just admit it?
Yeah.
Why don't we admit it?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the first one to get their legs cut off for some new bionic
Just
legs that
fully
make you jump
plugged
over
in.
buildings? Yeah. Like, bro, you're going to get to keep your cock and balls.
Legs chopped off for
You're
what?
just going to have fake legs, bro. These legs never get tired, man. Are you tired of walking all the time?
You get your cock and balls though, right?
Do you keep your cock and balls, bro?
That's the important
Do
part.
you want to keep these stupid meat vehicles, or do you want to get the Cyber 2000? Cyber 2000, two-legged system. It's amazing, man. It doesn't even feel, you totally feel like your own legs, but they never get tired, dude.
You wouldn't even need, you would only need head and cock.
Yeah.
You could replace everything else.
I wonder, here's the question. If
You could live with everything else being fake.
Yes, everything
Maybe
else can be
fingertips.
fake. Maybe one hand I'd like to keep.
One hand, yeah. One hand and cock and face.
Here's the thing. If people are smart enough to start manipulating bodies like that,
Yeah.
do you think they're going to keep the same shape that we have now?
Oh,
Or
why
where
not
they-
just go round like the R2-D2 from the new Star Wars?
I don't think that's beneficial. I was thinking,
Someone
like,
will try it.
would
What?
there be a better design than this bipedal hominid form that we use?
Yeah.
Like, would we get to a point where, like, aesthetically, like, we started changing things on people? You know?
Yeah, like have like chainsaw hands?
Well, I was thinking, like, minotaur bodies.
Oh, right.
You know? Like, look, you know, how much of you wants to be a person? How many legs you want?
You could run a lot faster on 4 legs.
What if it was the first guy to have 4 legs and everybody's like, whoa. And for no reason, doesn't make any sense, but girls are like, that's hot.
You have to get lucky.
That's just some fucking freak DNA thing that pops in a female's head when they see a man with 4 legs and they just can't help themselves. Like, oh my God. He's
And the guys
so
would be like,
hot.
I just did this to get faster, but this is nice.
He has 2 asses. You know?
Dude, if I got a Minotaur, I would hire all like the viral companies and the PR firms. I'm like, get it out there where it's an attractive thing. Make it
Right.
part of the zeitgeist that everyone says, oh yeah, that's hot. More legs is hotter. hire like Leonardo DiCaprio to say it.
That could totally be done.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen some of the crazy things that people are doing with their bodies these days.
Some
As
would
far as-
definitely want something different. One
Fuck
wheel,
yeah.
one wheel.
Dude, there's so many like weird body modifications today, right?
I was jealous when those shoes, remember the wheels came out of the bottom of the shoes
the
for
wheelies,
kids? But they
yeah.
never made it for adult sizes. And I was pissed about that. Of course, if I can make feet with wheels on it.
You should start a company.
adult.
You should license the product.
Yeah.
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 That's a good idea, actually.
There'd be so much.
Yeah, why is it no fun to do it as an adult?
I don't understand the problem.
You're not
Getting to
supposed
work,
be
you got a
enjoying
long
yourself.
straightaway. You can't fucking.
You're not supposed to be enjoying yourself, Ari. You're a grown up. You're supposed to
Stop
act a
the
little
fun.
more mature.
Stop
not supposed to be wheeling around the mall like an asshole. What is that wheeling thing, man?
I would love it, but you got to stand on your back feet.
Seems like an awkward way to stand. It's probably bad for old people.
They pop in
Back wise, you're like back, a lot of strain.
on that.
Back like that.
See Tyson wiping out on that.
Yeah.
He wiped
Those
that
things,
hard.
dude, those things, the first time I got on one, I can do one now, but the first time I got on one, it was at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And this dude who's a comic, what is his name? Jamie, you know that dude's name? You know what I'm talking about, right?
So Ben Kingsley?
I don't know. Might have been. I forgot his name.
Okay.
Nice guy. Anyway, he has a white one. He was tooling around the parking lot with Tate. And I go, how hard is it to do? And he goes, try it. I got on it. I couldn't imagine doing it. I got on it and I was like, there's no way I'll ever get good at this. Like, this
Yeah.
is fucking insane. Like,
What is it? Just two wheels and a base on top of
it's
it?
essentially, it's some form of a gyroscope.
Yeah.
And it's like those scooter things that they have at the mall. What are those things called again? Segways?
Oh.
Those Segway things.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden one of those?
No.
Really fun. Kevin James had one on the set of that Zookeeper movie.
Yeah.
He actually had a couple of them, and he would zing around the park in them. Dude,
Yeah.
they're fucking fun. They're really cool. But when they run out of batteries, you go flying.
Oh, really? It doesn't have the stopper? It doesn't have the uprighter?
Dude, the battery just breaks. If the battery runs out of juice, you go down hard, son. You go because it's the only reason why it's keeping you up. Like, you're not doing that yourself. Like, it's a gyroscope. Like, it's counterbalancing you as you move.
really?
Yeah, it
So
allows
you
you to be
can't fall?
way stable. Oh, you could definitely fall. You definitely can fall.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to ride. Like, you don't. I hope I'm saying gyroscope properly or explaining the physics behind it.
I have no idea what a gyroscope is, to be honest.
Self-balancing scooter is what they call them.
Yeah. Would you say that it's run like a gyroscope? Is that. Am I making
I think
things
that's
up?
what it uses.
What's a gyroscope? The thing that you get at the Air and Space Museum where you pull the
Or like
string
what's
and
in
it just
your
spins
iPhone,
forever?
The thing that's keeping balance, like how steady
Oh.
something is,
Yeah,
like how upright it is.
Can you pull up the definition of gyroscope just so I don't feel like an idiot? I just want to know if that's what it is because I've always been saying that, but now that I'm thinking while I'm saying, am I right that that's a gyroscope?
I have no idea what a gyroscope is.
Whatever it is, whatever this technology they've invented for
Yeah,
segways.
that's that thing. That you pull the string and it stays spinning forever. Yeah.
The orientation of the axis is unaffected
Best
by
thing to
tilting
get-
or rotation of the mounting. Okay, so that does make sense.
They're also in like drones to keep them upright.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Drones
So they
also
don't-
use GPS to help them keep upright too. But
Good Lord. We're
See that
living
drone
in a
almost smashed
fucking
that
movie.
skier?
Yeah, we watched it. What the fuck, man?
Do you know about the guy who died in the Segway?
A guy died?
We went off a cliff.
Oh, one of the guys that owned the company.
Yeah, the inventor
Yeah.
of it. Died on a Segway going off a cliff. When he went to patent that thing, my friend worked at the patent office when he came in. He didn't submit any blueprints. He just brought one in and had everybody ride it.
First of all, why is he near a cliff?
Why is he near a cliff?
Why did he do that? Like,
He's
if he
off-road
just stayed
Segway.
on the road. Oh, he went off the cliff in an off-road Segway? Oh, what a terrible idea.
Do they have that?
I don't know, but if they do, that's a terrible idea.
Off-road Segway?
Because unless those things are like way improved, I would think that the batteries, like if you're hitting rocks and shit,
Yeah, giant tires.
the idea of like running over a rock and hitting your electrical system, me as someone with zero knowledge of even how electricity works, I'm just going to comment on this, Ari.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck electricity is. I know you can't stick a fork in the hole or you die. That's what I know. I'm such a fucking idiot.
People are like, you can live if you hold on to the telephone wire because
no.
your feet don't connect. Like, shut up. You don't know any of that.
What is this, dude? What are you showing me?
ATV shredder. It looks like a what you
four-wheel
would call it,
Segway.
Yeah, an off-road Segway.
Oh my
Damn.
God. Is this real?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Look, he's
That's-
wearing a whole gas mask.
This looks like Halo.
Yeah.
This is like a fucking. Oh my
Oh,
God. This
he's
is
wearing a business suit.
insane. This is insane.
It's got tires like a tank. It's got tank
Fucking
tires on a
using
Segway.
this. That is so crazy.
Is that
looking.
dude in the suit?
Is there a video? You got to show me a video of this.
And he goes side saddle like
There must be-
skateboards?
Yeah, I guess, right? That guy in that position is.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Australia.
That seems like a weird way to stand. Maybe it's just that one picture. Look at this fucking thing. It's a little mini tank that is badass. Like, fucking, why not, right?
Oh, he's going off the wall. No way. Is he? Oh, I thought he was going to jump.
Yeah, I was
That's the
like, what?
dumbest fucking thing. It was just a seesaw. It's
So
just
why
another
is he?
seesaw.
Yeah, he's going on the seesaw. Why is he?
It's
doing
one of the
this?
dumbest tricks.
But why?
that's
well, I
pretty
guess
cool.
it's to show that it can go over obstacles. Oh, whoa!
Oh,
it can
no
go
way
over
is he
these
getting over
logs?
this.
Oh my god! Like nothing.
Hell yes.
Oh, this thing is actually really
Dude,
badass.
podcast over. Let's go get one of those.
This thing is insane.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, but you can hop off easy.
Dude, this is crazy. What is it called?
This is a DTV shredder.
Oh, that one.
Here's the
looks so
thing.
good.
It's not even that heavy. Like when he falls down, you see when
Yeah.
he just fell down? Look, like he just picks it up and moves it. Like it's not that big a
Just
deal.
right back on.
Yeah, look, we're not. It's not like a motorcycle.
Oh, that's why they're showing it
What
fucking
are we
up.
doing? A fucking commercial for this? Seems like we're doing a commercial for this. I never even heard of this until seconds ago. I swear. This is bullshit. I see what they're doing, dude. They got fucking product placement,
And if
man.
you go to DTV/Joe Rogan right now, you get 10% off.
10% off a new DTV.
Free shipping.
What the fuck is that, man?
And your shredder plates.
That's like some 14-year-old boy got like $10 million and said, dude,
like-
I'm starting my own company.
You know that bit you have about rappers, or had about rappers getting everything in their home?
Yeah.
That's the white version of that.
That is the right. Yeah, ATVs are like a white man's. It's
like you
it's
just
a
never grew
treasure.
up, huh?
Yeah, like an ATV. If you're white trash and you got like really powerful ATVs, like you are running shit. You got a good piece of land where you could just drive through mud. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to Bobby's. Ride those ATVs.
Muddin'
That's fun as shit. You ever
You've got-
ride on one of those?
ATVs?
Oh my god,
No.
they're so fun.
Really?
Yeah.
The 3-wheel things?
Well, they're 4 wheels.
But those like motorcycle type
Yeah,
things,
they're like
right?
motorcycle things. Yeah, dude,
done
they're
it?
fun as shit. Yeah, I've been in a bunch of different kind of little buggies.
Do you jump them and stuff?
Oh no! Just you driving through the woods in them. They're really fun. Oh, it's like
Does it bounce everywhere?
Yeah. It's really bouncy, but they can get out of anything and then go into the woods and drive over logs with them and shit.
Hell yeah.
They take those things up in Canada, and my friends in Canada, the Rivets, they run this hunting camp in Canada. They
Yeah.
have an Argo. An Argo is like a mini tank. It's it goes amphibian. It goes through the water.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
has
These
that?
things. My friend John Rivet from up in Canada. Well, he needs it. He goes moose hunting. So they'll kill a moose and they have to drag it out of the woods and they have it on this fucking mini tank.
Whoa.
Dude, you have to see this thing. They have different wheels for them. Like sometimes they have like wheels, like giant truck tires, but other times they put tank treads on them. And they can go deep into the woods. They just drive through shit.
Whoa.
Like you could buy a tank.
That sounds fun.
See, pull up a video of an Argo so I could show him what he's talking about. These dudes, the Rivets, they have all sorts of ATVs, but this Argo is the mother. This is the mother. Like if you're stuck,
Yeah.
this motherfucker will get you out. It's the mother. It just goes deep into the woods. It's a tank. It's a fucking small tank.
It just gets over everything?
Everything. Logs. Look at it. Okay, this is one of them. They have some
like
of
the
them.
Nigerian army.
They're going
What?
through
They
the
go
water.
to water?
Yes,
And
dude,
over snow?
And see the tank treads.
Oh, yeah.
Some
Freedom.
of them. Look,
Versatility.
you can drive through water with these fucking things.
Wow.
They're
Why are they showing the
crazy.
dollar bill?
They have. I don't know. It's some hillbilly
nice.
shit. Whoever's making them, they're appealing to
Why is this
the Duck
video
Dynasty
over a
crowd.
dollar bill?
But back that up, so you can see where the one has the tread. Look at that right there,
Wow.
where you can see the tank
Oh, he's
tread.
he's put
It's
on
a fucking-
Christmas trees in the
Dude,
snow.
He's got tank tread. There's tank tread on these things. I mean, it's a fucking tank.
Wow.
It's a tank for the forest.
Wow.
See, girls right now would be so angry if they were here. Who cares? Why
you're
do
in
you
the
care?
We don't live in the forest.
Ladies, I'm so sorry that we don't see things the same way. But this is like for a girl. Like
Wow.
she's like
Going
the-
through creeks and shit would be cool. Like that.
What would be the female equivalent for something like this? Like awesome handbags? Girls with awesome shoes. A shoes thing, right? It'd be a shoes thing.
A man with money.
Older man with money and a heart condition.
Oh my God, you have got to see this one. Look, he can barely breathe.
Jesus
Look how
Christ.
fat his wallet is.
Isn't that terrifying that some old dudes like that really are preyed upon like that?
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody protects them.
No.
There's no like, guys, come on. They can't make their own decisions.
Ooh, I know a dude who got taken.
Really?
An older dude.
By a Sofia Vergara?
No, he had a
Type?
younger girlfriend that he met on one of those weird dating sites. And 2 years in, he's like, she was involved in his business. Hundreds of thousands of dollars went missing. It just got to this weird state. He had to jettison the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's old dudes. It's old people in general. You know, you start getting older, you truly don't want to be alone. And if you're really old and you're wealthy, and you just find some girl who seems so nice, but every time she makes your tea, you just start feeling weird. Diarrhea, and I don't know what's going on. There's something wrong with me.
Maybe you're anxious because of the new girl.
Maybe it's just maybe I just I haven't been having sex since my wife died, and I'm 85 years old now, and I can't believe this girl even wants to be with me. I mean, it's just what a treasure and what a blessing from the Lord. But God, every time she makes me this tea, I'm just shitting myself. He doesn't want to admit it. Are you okay, baby? We're still gonna do it. Do you not think I'm hot anymore? He said, "Baby, I love you. I just, I'm 85 years old."
One second, I just go.
Just ass blood. Slowly
Okay,
but
coming
surely,
in.
she's eating through his insides. Those fucking shows, like those murder shows where they
Black
talk
Dahlia?
about like where you talk about like different people that it did. Like there was one that was a nurse that was purposely poisoning all of the people that she was taking care of. They were
Why?
She was just crazy. She was
No
crazy.
reason?
She was crazy.
Oh.
She was purposely poisoning patients.
To get out of work.
Yeah. I don't think she was doing it to get out of work. I think she was just killing people. I think she was just crazy. It was a few years back. But the idea that someone would want to consciously slowly kill someone with a poison. Like, ooh. How about you just move on with your life, bitch?
Yeah.
Leave that poor guy in the bed alone.
No, she got off on it or something, right?
Oh, yeah, something. She was killing them while they were in her care.
Do you ever think about what it'd be like to kill somebody?
Ooh, God, it's dark. Ooh. It's amazing how few people kill people, really, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How mad people get at each other and how few people actually get killed. We're awesome.
Yeah, we're
In
doing
that
pretty
regard.
good.
We're fucking hanging in there, man. You know? I mean, think about how many times.
I walk around in no fear of any physical violence.
Yeah, almost never.
Yeah.
You have to be in the total wrong place at the total wrong time. Or drinking.
Yeah.
If you're drinking, anything can happen.
Right. Yeah.
Especially if you're one of those guys.
But I just freely walk around with like plenty of money in my pocket.
Yeah.
Just for anyone to.
Keep going, dude.
I just mean like everyone has a wallet. Like, so you
Yeah.
keep your cash.
Cash money. How long before that's not real anymore?
Cash?
How long before paper money just is gone? That's got to be coming, right?
I'm ready for the chip.
Oh, wow. You're ready to give in to the
The
Borg.
purchase chip.
Someone's ready to give in to the Borg and get some horse legs.
You ever
You
see
know
those
what?
videos of the
In order for the phone to work, you have to get horse
Get the
legs.
chip in?
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and eventually they're like, okay, anyone who doesn't still have the chip in and the horse legs, we're gonna give you free ones now, because everyone has to be on.
No, it would anybody
with the
who
TV.
it would be like certain things you couldn't get. You couldn't get on the internet anymore. They will deprive you of your services
I just
until
got a
you join
text
the Borg.
saying my phone will no longer work overseas, but if you want an overseas phone, they can get me one.
It's hilarious. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Ari Shaffir has done one of the bravest things that any man has ever done. He went from an iPhone to a flip phone, the jankiest little 1979 technology flip phone. At the time, it was super advanced, like what you're sporting in your pocket at one point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's undeniably super
I
advanced.
had to find this one. The first was just the free like Best Buy, go get it over there. But
Yeah, you started off with a regular one when you had to do like 4 presses to get an S.
that was impossible. That was really, really tough on me.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, this double flip is the future, man.
Yeah.
The fucking.
Well, you know what the real future is?
QWERTY.
Voice recognition.
Oh yeah.
This whole typing thing is so stupid. It's gone. It's on its way out. It's so close. It's so close.
Yeah.
They're so good now. Like as far
The
as
one
like,
you showed me was dead on.
it's insane. I use it for notes all the time. I'll say something into notes and it comes out almost perfect. Like weird things get spelled wrong if it's a weird name or something like that, but that's to be expected. It spells it phonetically.
Got Ari.
You got Ari?
Yeah.
You know what else did? Washington Post. Is that what it was?
Washington Post crossword puzzle.
Ari Shaffir was a goddamn answer to a crossword puzzle, ladies and gentlemen. So, suck it, haters.
My mom and sister sent it to me.
That's hilarious.
They said they were getting all sorts of phone calls.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. That's such a non-comedy.
Yeah. You've transcended, son.
So weird.
Unquestionably. You've now transcended.
That's like
You're
a Jewish
in.
milestone.
Comedian Shaffir. Boom!
47 across.
Suck it!
Weird.
That's it. You're famous. You're on TV. What do you expect, man?
You have
a
to, at
Comedy
that
Central
point,
show.
be like there enough for someone to get it.
Yeah. If they don't, suck it.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing, though. I like the fact. I would never do what you're doing with your phone.
Yeah.
But I like what you're doing. What you're doing is you're looking at the data and deciding, okay, how much willpower do I have? Not enough. Fuck this.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to put it. I analyzed the stats on my life, and I was like, oh, I can't stop.
But you did it very intelligently. Like, it's very difficult to do. It's very difficult for people to not just look at some weird addiction that they might have, but to say, okay, even though there's all this amazing convenience of being able to buy movie tickets and being able to check websites and answer emails on your phone, it's not worth it.
That's a justification.
It's not worth it. It's too much.
Well, you know how when you see someone on TV smoking cigarettes, you never really smoked, huh?
No, I never smoked.
But when you see somebody, it just triggers like, oh, I need to smoke too. Or as soon as you get in your car, some people smoke, no matter what.
Yeah.
Or whenever I went to the Comedy Store, I'd smoke.
You know what's funny though? When I see people get high, it does the opposite.
It makes you not want to get high.
It makes me go, my God, do I sound that stupid when I'm high? You know, because sometimes you'll say things when you're high, and as you're saying them, you're like you would listen to me,
You're like,
and you
"That's
would go, "Oh my God, he's an idiot." But believe me, I'm saying, "Oh my God, I'm an idiot." Like as I'm saying it, I'm thinking I'm an idiot.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, somebody should write this down and alert the media because it's brilliant. And you're here the next day, and you're like, what?
I did a scene on news radio once with Bob Costa.
Yeah.
Who's a very nice guy. Bob Costa's great. He's a very, very intelligent guy, too. And we had this scene, and he beats me up. He, has to flip me. He does this, judo flip and beats my ass for some strange reason. But afterwards, we were all out talking. And while we were talking, I had smoked pot. And I was rambling to him. I remember talking to him about DuPont making the chemical compound for nylon, at the same time when they made hemp illegal, some stupid ass story. And in the middle of it, I'm like, while words are coming out of my mouth, I'm going, shut
Your brain
the
is
fuck
telling you.
up.
Your brain is telling you, hey man, stop this. Yeah.
Shut up.
What did you do? What did you say?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's a gentleman. I'm sure he didn't even call me on it.
Yeah.
I just realized it while I was doing it.
Then you have to be like,
But he's a super nice
quiet.
guy. He's a really, really interesting guy. Very, very smart. There's certain dudes you talk to, you go, oh, okay.
You're another
You're
level.
fucking sharp.
Yeah.
There's a few guys like that. He's a very sharp guy. And he's in that interesting position too, as a sports commentator who also gives really well thought out opinions, agree with him or disagree with him, about gun violence, about a lot of other things, about important
Bob
social
Costas?
issues. Yeah, Bob Costas.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
I thought you said Bob Costa. I thought it was just another person.
Who's
That guy. Yeah.
Bob Costas.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
See the diaper guy?
The diaper guy.
Who's the diaper one?
Bob Costas is the guy that does football, right? And
Marv Albert. I have
Bob
no
Costa
idea.
does he used to do that late night show.
Yeah. Later with Bob Costas?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That was, right?
Yeah,
Later
he
with Bob
had
Costas?
a shot at late night for a little while.
Super fucking smart guy, man.
How dumb is that billboard for
Which
that
one?
late night show where they're making that Daily Show girl be a girl?
Oh, the one we were looking at on
Over
the
on
wall.
Yeah.
Well, they're just trying to get your attention. It says like if you don't like it, you're sexist, or if you don't watch it, you're sexist.
Even the name of it, full frontal. It's just like, come on, let them fucking just be hosts. All of them, all the minorities, they just keep pushing them into like being that thing.
A girl's a minority?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
because it's a girl?
On TV.
That's an interesting way of putting it. I've never heard a girl be described as a minority.
Even though they're 52%, yeah, they're the underrepresented on television.
What's the ratio?
On TV?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
What do you say, underrepresented?
Like less than half the,
People on TV are girls?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, all the stand-up is a lot more dudes.
Really?
Shows
Let me
more
think.
about
I'm
what
trying to
men.
think about movies or TV shows.
Yeah, there's very
Like
few
Walking Dead seems
women.
to have an even number. They have an even number of boys and girls.
Yeah, maybe.
And somehow those people aren't hooking up. Like, what are we
No,
living
some
forever?
of them are. Remember that?
A couple.
Yeah.
Barely. And they just fall deeply in love while they fight off the zombies. Get the fuck out of here. They never even fight.
Remember
If
what's
they-
his name was watching him in that
Yeah.
one episode? He was just staring at them fuck.
Oh, that's right.
The comedian.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Josh McDermott.
Josh McDermott, yeah.
Josh
And he's
McDermott.
just staring. He's like, Josh is looking at us again. He goes, let him look.
Do you remember how we worked with Josh? Did you do that gig?
it was
You didn't
you.
do that gig? Was it Duncan? It might have been Duncan
don't know.
and me and
We're in Arizona?
yeah, we were in Arizona, and I think this was a Diaz no show. That's how
The old
that's how it
classic Diaz
started-
no-show.
That's how it started. It
For
back
the people
in
who
the
don't
day.
know, the reason I went out on the road with Joe Rogan is because he needed a second person to open for him because Diaz was, at best, 70-30 to show up.
It was more than that. He was more than that. In all fairness, there was
Yeah.
only a few instances
Yeah.
where it didn't work out.
But you didn't want to get stuck with nobody, so you're like, fine, I'll have two. Just in
Well-
case he shows up, I'll have two. No big deal.
I love Joey.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I have an obligation to let Joey be Joey.
What a
And I
great
never-
employer when it's like, oh, you might not show up today. I'll just hire more people to do your job also so that we don't have this problem.
I knew, like, even way back in the day that Joey was special. He's
Yeah.
a special guy. And he's special. He's important for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, he's like an engine. And he's beautiful. If you get close to him, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's the best. That guy shines, like, inside. Like, this, why we all love to be around him.
He calls you. Even if you're busy or something, you're like, this will be a 90-second phone call.
He's
he
a
does those
classic-
check-in phone calls every day.
Yeah. I mean, he's a classic original. But he had problems back then with coke.
But you saw something, right?
I knew it. I just knew it.
Oh, man.
I was like, this guy just needs to be, just leave him alone. He'll figure it out.
He's closing out my
know?
Storyteller show again.
He's
this
a
season.
monster.
We're going to end the season with him every year.
He's a
the plan.
monster. He could do that forever, by the way. He
Yeah.
never runs out of stories. It's
Yeah.
insane. I've never met anybody who, I've known him for, fucking almost 20 years. And he just always has new stories.
Yeah.
And people will go, this didn't happen. Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
gets verification. Verification, cocksucker. He'll fucking call people up, put them on speakerphone, tell them that fucking time.
Verification.
With Joey Babaluno in fucking North Bergen. And he has these conversations with people.
Oh, verification's great.
It's verification. on
Remember
all
when
this
Tripoli
shit.
called you for verification?
That's right.
What was it?
I don't remember what it was. What was the verification?
He called from on stage. He
Yes.
called you, and you were at the Improv.
Yeah, what was it?
He was
question?
like, this girl said that we're not friends. And I said, I have you on my phone or
that's
something like that.
right. That's exactly
Perfect
what it was.
verification.
That's
you're
right.
Like, the fact that I'm getting him on the phone proves it.
Oh, yeah, it was a heckler who's being mean to him.
Nobody's better with hecklers in Tripoli.
Oh, well, Tripoli's
He
been in the
thrives in the
trenches. He's been in the trenches.
Yeah, Diaz is, yeah.
Tripoli's a Comedy Store dude. Those Comedy Store guys, especially us from like the 90s,
Yeah.
there was there was no crowd control.
Tripoli would get off like, there's no one, I'm fighting for 10 minutes, no one's even telling him to shut up. How
Dude.
come?
Dude, fucking Holtzman got knocked out.
Oh.
Remember? He got punched in the face by someone's bodyguard.
Holtzman one time tackled somebody. They were walking by the front row in the original room, and they walked in between the front row of chairs and the table chairs. You know,
Right.
there's one that's butt up right against the stage, and there's
Right.
one like with the tables.
Right.
You know, so they're walking in between there, and he saw them, and he just leaned over and grabbed onto their shoulders and just left his body weight just drop. And he just brought them to the ground. They were just going back to their seat.
What the fuck? Oh my god!
They were just going back to
Okay,
their seat.
let me ask you this: as a responsible person and an adult,
Yeah.
if you're running that business, do you fire him? What do? You say, hey man,
Independent contractors.
Is that how you look at it? 'Cause
You'd be like, you can't. That's why Yelp reviews of comedy clubs are some of the greatest things in the world, because they point out stuff that you'd be like, they're doing it as a Yelp review of a business.
Right.
But they're like, literally, one of the employees said, I hope I die in a fire when I'm going home.
Oh.
It's like, imagine if a waiter said that to you.
right.
And then they're like, oh, you're talking about David Taylor. It's like he's running you out of there. And now he's trying to hurt you, so you think about it on the way home. We don't want your business.
Well,
If you're
especially-
running out of there, too, you were probably a dick enough to
Yeah.
be like, we don't want you back.
That's the most important
Guess what?
part. Well, you can run into dicks, man. And a lot of times it's just people that don't know how to behave.
Yeah.
Like Chappelle was at the store the other night, and some guy kept yelling shit out at him, and the crowd started yelling at the guy to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's the best.
Oh, he was just so obnoxious. But he just couldn't believe he was talking to Dave Chappelle. You know, he's just drunk and he fucked up, and the people around him were responding, and it started getting shitty.
Yeah.
You know, but the store never had anybody that, like, you can't do that at the Improv. They will grab you and they'll pull you out of there.
Yeah.
Like they like
Because the
patrol
door guys are all
room.
comedians, so we're outside fucking smoking pot.
No one's paying
or drinking. And they're like, where were you? I'm like, talking to this chick.
No one's paying attention.
Yeah, you have to get a door guy.
Yeah. But you know what? I would say that it's way less necessary today than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
Like the crowds have been amazing at the store lately.
They also sort of, okay, here's the thing, and this is why Canadian crowds are better too, because if you go into it, and like your listeners, good, with an understanding of like, oh, here's the etiquette of what it's like to be in a comedy show.
Right.
Like I sort of get it already. Then they're just like a base level better crowds. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
I know you're supposed to shut up and laugh.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Some people didn't get that message. That's what's going on, though, man.
Yeah.
That's part of what it is. Some people they don't know that yet.
Yeah.
and we're
And then they're like, what? You're like, what do you, no one else is doing this.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's hard for some people. They grow up around morons. You know, if you grow up like exclusively around morons,
Yeah.
and you've been responding to morons your whole life, then all of a sudden you're drinking and Dave Chappelle's on stage, you're gonna act like a moron. You don't even know why you're doing it. Like as it's coming out of your mouth, you're like, who is this asshole
Yeah.
representing the great spirit that is inside me?
He used to have more problems like right after Chappelle's show with, they would yell out those catchphrases at him.
Oh, he had a real problem once. It was at the House of Blues, I think, or something like that. One of those places in
Oh,
Vegas.
yeah, on tour.
Yeah, remember? Like they were saying,
Oddball.
people kept yelling out, you know, all the different phrases, you know.
And he's just like, what? I can't go anywhere with this.
Yeah. What was the big one? What was that big one?
I'm Rick James,
Yeah,
bitch.
I'm Rick James, bitch. That was one they kept yelling out.
He had, when he came back from Africa or whatever, he had a show at the store, the comedy store, and it was mobbed, and everybody's there. Soundgarden came, and Bruce Willis came.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was mobbed. And then, I mean, way oversold. And the fire department showed up, and it was like trouble, but they just wanted to sit on the steps and watch.
Wow.
And he was the biggest thing there was then, but they were strict. They told everybody, you say a word and you're gone. And there was a line out the door of people not being able to get in.
Wow.
And when Madrigal was on, I think, he had two guys open for him. Madrigal, some black guy, I forget who, and then he went on. Somebody heckled a little bit from the front row, and they just yanked him right out, and somebody came right in, right, got a front row seat, because those guys
Wow.
fucked up.
Yeah, man, I think people are learning,
Yeah.
you know? Like
No tolerance.
I get it if you don't like the person who's on stage. I've
Like,
left.
go outside, go get a
Yeah.
cigarette, and come back in.
Listen, I'll sit and watch the show, and if someone is not doing
If
well
it's a
or if they're not
one-on-one,
into
that's
it,
when you say something. If your waiter is
Yeah.
being super rude to you, or somebody, a plumber is being an asshole to you, be like, hey man, you're being a dick, get out. But not if it's ruining everyone else's experience. You don't like a movie, go outside and complain.
well, it's not necessary if other people are enjoying it
Yeah.
for you to
Stop
express
their
your
joy.
displeasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. You
Imagine
know?
leaving Star Wars, going, this is a kid's movie. I don't like this. It's for kids. And having all these kids go, why are you ruining this for me?
But again, we know that because we're in the business. I think for a lot of people, this is all they don't understand.
Yeah.
And then there's also people that'll tell you, hey, you should be able to handle anything. They're up there on stage. You should be able to handle anything they throw at you.
It's like I
You
am.
call
And
yourself-
one of the ways I have to handle this is to make you leave by an off-duty cop who's working the door.
That's a weird thing when people tell you what you're supposed to be able to do, like as a comedian. You're supposed to be able to handle it.
Imagine going to a restaurant, throwing a plate onto the floor, and so, well, you know,
Yeah.
you guys deal with spills all the
Hey.
time, don't you?
You should be able to handle it. Like somebody literally said when the subject of stealing jokes came up, look, you should be able to write more jokes. I remember someone saying that. Like, you should be able to write more jokes. Oh, it's fucking so simple.
Yeah.
It's what
apply that logic to other things. Like, oh, you have a job with a boss who's like abusing you. Well, you should be able to get a better job.
Yeah, why don't you have a better job? You should have a better job.
What? My boss rapes me.
Asshole commentary.
Different days.
Asshole commentary. That's all it is.
I like to just walk away from those people. You can do it online better. We're like, I'm not trying to educate you. Get out of here.
That's so funny, man. It's so true.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, you should be able to handle anything.
You told me early on when you started like really like you would be vicious with those hecklers. And I'm like, don't you feel bad? And you were like, they've already shown that they're assholes. So no mercy, no reason to show mercy.
They're trying to be mean to you.
Yeah.
What they're doing is trying to be mean. Like they're yelling shit out, trying to interrupt. And a lot of them, the reason why they're doing it is because they just want attention. It's not even what you're saying. They just, for whatever reason, they wanted to do an open mic night. They never did it. They got drunk, and here they are. And they feel like, I'm going to fucking get this Ari Shaffir. I don't, this guy, he can't handle what I'm coming with him. Look at those fucking ears. Can you fly around the room with those things? Woo!
Dude, I had these two gay guys at the stand, and they were mad at me because it was one of those things where drunks will mishear one word. And they'll just be like, I don't like that. No, I was saying I don't like people who hate black people. And like, what's black people now? And you're like, no, shut up. It's one of those. And they were just being angry and giving me the mean stare all the time. And the stand is so small that you can see everybody. It's pretty good. And then I was like, but you guys don't like this. I said something like, first smile I got out of you. And they're like, well, whatever. And then I just start calling Mr. and Mrs. Poopy Pants and just like belittling them. It's just so fun. And watching them get angrier and angrier. We just talk over people. They're just angry.
Well, what were they doing? Like,
I don't know.
Just what got you so mad?
Just giving me mean mugs. You've seen that where it's like, I'm just going to try to show you how mad I am.
Oh, like,
yeah, things like that. I had a woman in Calgary. She was bitching about everybody. The whole opener, she kept yapping. I was like, hey, you got to be quiet. And then she did that thing with like, next joke. And I'm like, beat it. You're out. Get out. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, you don't need to be above this show. I just railed on her for like 10 minutes, and then I had to stop. Like, by the way, crowd, this is not coming out of your time. So the clock stops.
Next joke. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's like, you don't even want to be here. Get the fuck out of here.
It's just so weird. Because you can go to, like, the most amazing movie, but if you're sitting next to someone who's going, yeah, that could happen. Oh, he fucking lived. Who saw that coming, Stallone? He found a way to get that rock pick into the side of the mountain just as he's hanging off of it.
Not likely.
Pulls himself up.
Be quiet.
Grabs a log and drags himself over the top of the cliff.
Shut up, you're ruining this.
That could happen, right?
Shh. Dude, I had this guy in Scotland threaten to sue me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, because I told his wife she was ugly.
Did you hear what happened in Canada with that?
With Mike Ward.
Do you know the guy?
He's getting sued by tribunal. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's great.
Which one are you talking about? The one where the guy cursed out the lesbians and said a bunch of anti-gay things to them?
No.
Called them dykes, something along those lines. And there was like a nasty exchange between this guy and this girl. And the woman sued and apparently, I believe, won. And I don't know the specifics
mental
of it.
Damages?
Well, I think she sued for like Jamie, see if you could pull that up. I don't want to talk. I don't know exactly what the charges were, but everybody was like, "Whoa!"
And she won?
Yeah, I think she got an award of like $10,000 or something.
Well, then it becomes a thing where it's like you either have to make everyone sign a release before coming to a comedy club, or just saying you're going to kill the art form.
As Jamie pulls it up,
because you can't take any sort of risk.
I don't want to misquote anything, so I want to make sure I say this incorrectly. But it was a story. I don't know.
I'll tell you what happened
the
to
judgment was.
To Mike Ward.
Okay.
He's a French-Canadian comic. And so he was doing, there was this kid who was like a Make-A-Wish kid, whatever, and they were like, he's going out, and it was a big, like, on TV, is like a whole campaign about this kid. And then Mike had a bit about, 10 years later, this kid's still alive. And he's like, I want my money back. you know? And he started going off. He was like, he's supposed to die. He's fucking 23 now.
Oh no.
And
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. And the kid said he got made fun of because of it.
Oh my god.
And it wasn't cool.
Jesus Christ.
And he was like, well, sorry, man, you were like a celebrity, and I'm going to make fun of that stuff.
Oh.
And he got taken to a tribunal. He's going right now to a French-Canadian tribunal.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. What are they suing him for? What are they charging him with? Or what are they doing?
Saying I don't know the exact charges, but it's either 80 grand or more that they're suing him for. But the problem is, then that just makes anything off limits. It makes any sort of subject where you have no idea.
Well, here's the thing. How do you attach a monetary number to that? Slurs force comic to pay $15,000. Wow, more than I thought. Tirade of ugly words against lesbian patron after appeal falls flat. Wow.
So no appeal.
I guess his appeal fell flat.
They didn't win the appeal.
Yeah. So I think he lost.
Human Rights Tribunal. That's what Mike is being brought up in too. A Human Rights Tribunal.
What is going on, Canada? What the fuck are you doing?
Lasting physical and psychological effect? What's the physical effect?
Well, see, I would say, here's one thing. If this woman came to a show, okay, let's be honest about this.
Okay.
And
he just started berating.
And he just started berating
Let's just
her.
say the worst case scenario.
Side. I'm on her side. If she's sitting there with her girlfriend and she didn't do anything, and he starts saying a bunch of lesbian shit to her and being mean to her, and just being an asshole. And you know guys have done that, right? Yeah, we all know comics have done. We've all seen bad comics do things like that or take attempts, try to be funny and it's just offensive.
Yeah.
And if you paid money to see something like that, no matter what it is, whether it's a black joke, whether it's a joke about Asian people, and you feel like abused,
what if
and
it's,
you're just
what if
sitting
it's just
there.
a joke about their height? Where's the line after that? In that way of thinking.
It's really a matter of like what is being said. It's not like just a blank subject, right? We can't say what if it's a joke about being black, because it could be a joke,
Here's the problem.
You know what I mean?
You can't really make it up to anyone.
Right.
It's got to be like you're allowed to say everything, or you're not allowed to say everything.
But how do you do a monetary number?
That's weird. Well,
I mean, like, how do you make a value?
Be like, these are my doctor's bills, my psychologist bills. This is how much work I've missed. You could do it that way.
I think in this case,
15 grand is not a huge amount of money. It's a lot, but it's not like those McDonald's settlements.
Right.
But
for a comic, though, who's just a guy working,
that could break you
big
for
hit.
sure.
Plus, I'm sure he has legal fees, right?
Yeah.
But what I was going to get at is, did the girl heckle first?
Yeah, see, that's what I don't know.
See, if she did, then fuck her.
Yeah.
Like, you probably shouldn't say mean shit about her.
I've seen stories about a comic going off on somebody. So in the court of public opinion, like they get eviscerated because they went off too hard on somebody. But then people at the show were like, no, this lady was heckling everyone in the show.
Let's see what it says here. In May of 2007, I don't need to read her name, and a girlfriend were at a club in Vancouver restaurant with a largely gay clientele. When an open mic night hosted by Mr. Earl kicked off, the two women decided to stay. According to the later findings of the Human Rights Tribunal, during the show, Ms. Purdy's girlfriend had merely pecked her on the cheek when Mr. Earl told the crowd, "Don't mind that inconsiderate dyke table over there. You know lesbians are always ruin it for everybody."
Stop right there. Go back up. Let me read that.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
All I did was this one. They're probably fully making out and everyone and disrupting everyone. Why else would he say, "Don't mind that inconsiderate"?
Yeah.
And ruining it for everyone.
I would imagine there's probably some chatter.
Yeah, probably.
That happens.
And then he went off too hard.
But we've all seen that when they don't want to admit that they did that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
always that. It's always like, I didn't do anything. All I did was move my chair. And it's like, no, why would anyone throw you out when you're a customer for doing nothing?
And
I was just laughing. Shut up.
There's a lot of different kinds of lesbians.
Yeah.
Right? There's like educated lesbians that are into the arts. Right?
Yeah.
And then there's like the bull dykey lesbians that are like thicker, bigger boned, right? And then there's the lipstick lesbians.
Yeah,
we don't know what we're dealing with here.
So then they all booed him. This line prompted boos from his party's table.
And then
that escalated the string of slurs. And it's like, all right, you don't like it. You're seeing an artist. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't like this. So leave then. It's okay. You can just leave.
Really, it's hard to know.
If you want your
what
money
happened.
back, fine. Get your money back.
Or was it this? were they just two really pretty, interesting women, and one of them did kiss her friend on the cheek lightly, and the comic was eating dick on stage.
Yeah.
And he started blaming these
Okay,
girls for the
so-
fact that he's eating dick on stage. You ever seen that happen
Yes,
before?
absolutely. So here's the
Yeah,
deal.
but
So
we should be fair here, right?
Yes, yeah. So let's say it was that way. So in that
Okay.
scenario, they should get their money back and leave. You
Right.
still can't stop a guy, an artist, from fucking trying something.
Right.
You're
So-
never going to know what the line is unless you cross it. And then you pull it back a little bit. So if you don't let a guy even try to get to the line, then you're hurting art in general.
This is what he said that's really rude. You're not even lesbians. No guy will fuck you. That's why you're with each other.
Okay.
How rude.
I'm still on the dude side here. I'm sorry.
I see myself saying that.
Yeah.
In my darkest moments, for sure. Really, we don't know. See, like, here's another problem.
That's the problem when Kramer did that stuff. It was like, oh yeah, I get it. I get the point of like, I just want to hurt you now.
Right.
And that's not even what he was trying to do.
Here's the thing of looking at it on print here like this. It's so much different.
So much different.
Looking at it on print is so much different. We're missing. It's just like, first of all, we don't know if that's exactly what he said. I mean, is this taken from a recording or is this from people's memory? Like, how exactly do we know exactly what he said? Is
And by
it
the way,
what
there's-
she says he
yeah,
said?
They're
What-
calling that discrimination, but really discrimination is if they wouldn't let them in because
was
they
there
were
recording,
lesbians.
young Jamie?
This says in the court case they used witness testimony from drunk patrons that were there.
See, you can't do that because I don't remember guys' jokes sometimes. I'm a fucking professional comedian.
Yeah.
I doubt they remember exactly what he said, especially if they're hammered. Come on.
Everyone was booing him. He was an asshole, and it's like, he was just going down.
Here's the thing.
He's an open micer.
If comics are bad, they will eventually stop being
They'll stop
hired.
or they'll get better.
Yeah, or they'll get better. But if you're heckling,
He's not
like
going to get.
you're just fucking. You're not supposed to do that. And when you do that, you open the door to chaos.
Also, I've had stuff where it's like, I'm going to take you down one road, and then I'll
Exactly.
take you clear in the end. Don't worry. If you
Right.
just be quiet and listen the whole time, you'll see where I'm going with this, and you'll be fine. But if you stop me in the middle, it's going to make it seem really bad what I've
Right.
said.
Exactly.
So-
exactly.
If you get interrupted, you're just going to look bad.
And it's a long
You
setup.
can't make someone pay money off doing their art badly.
Exactly. Well, first of
And
all,
I'm not even saying it was bad. He might have fucking gotten other people laughing at him.
yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't. So it's so hard, but I think the monetary aspect of it, a monetary judgment, like, come on, $15,000. Like, what really happened there? Until you can define what really happened,
Yeah.
it sounds so crazy that they just come up with a number. 15,000. Pay the money. Give money to people. You have to give money to people.
She can leave
if they get mad at you.
Can you say shit to people on the street? Can you like call someone a dick on the street?
Well, here's the thing.
Or can you get sued for that?
What is it about like gay slurs? Is that what it was? That it was a gay thing? Because like, what if he just concentrated on other aspects of her?
Yeah, exactly.
What if
What
he
if it was
just-
that?
yeah.
What if it was like, you can't get a better girlfriend
Yeah.
because you're too empty inside? Like, really
Yeah.
went to hurt her in a different
Yeah.
way. That had nothing to do with it. Yeah, people
Yeah.
wouldn't be as mad. That's
What-
kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not about the hurting. It's about how he's hurting.
Yeah, he's hurting her by saying that she can't get men to fuck her. That's why she's a lesbian. She's not even a real lesbian. He's trying to hurt her there because it's like
But also, like, why are you
it's a
listening
funny
to this
thing
guy?
to say.
Yeah, sure.
It's a funny thing to say. That's what a comic would say.
But he has to try.
Yeah. Yeah,
Was
he's
he going
trying
to
to
have
survive.
a dissertation on fucking lesbian rights?
He's also ad-libbing. And again, we're not taking this guy's side because we don't know what happened. I don't know. I mean, who knows? He might have been a dick.
And then is it up to the rest of the audience to decide how
Exactly.
dickish he was? Or is it just like, no, I felt hurt, so I get the money? It's just like, it's an art form. You can't stop anyone from doing or saying anything. That's why you're allowed to smoke on stage here.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, it's part of the art. You're on stage. It's like a
Yeah,
performance.
Chappelle smoked 4 cigarettes the other night in a 20-minute set.
And once I saw him light up another one, I was like, all right, I'm out.
He just
I gotta go
kept
back
smoking
outside.
them.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. What does it say here? In addition to Mr. Earl's $15,000 penalty, the restaurant was also ordered to pay $7,000.
Since he had a bar tab, he was illegally an employee.
Oh my God. So because the comedian had a small bar tab to host the event, the comedian was legally an employee. Oh man, that's sad.
Mr. Earl's lawyer
How could
walked
you-
down the tribunal process. Yeah, it's a tribunal. What is this? What rights do they have?
Nordic. They have gods. It's Greek, and fucking Thor comes down, slams the hammer at the end of the decision. So stupid looking.
Miss Party. The guy, the comedian, the host of the show, was trying to say that the lady, quote, played a vital and highly dramatic role in utterly disrupting a performance by unpaid volunteers. Comedy clubs are like no other places. The quintessential element that distinguishes them from vapid mainstream media is the fearless pursuit of free speech. Hell yeah.
Listen to this, though, too. It played a vital and highly dramatic role in utterly disrupting a performance by unpaid volunteers.
It's an open mic. They're
It's an
just
open
trying
mic.
to fucking go on, and you guys are...
For that sentence, when he finished that sentence and he hit that period, the judge should have said, it's over.
You're
you
right.
win.
Yeah.
You win. Get out of here. This is over.
Oh, she was messing you guys up?
Well, I'm on his side just by the way he spells things. Spells things out. Like, his sentence is perfect.
In the judge's words, the comic was not giving a comedy performance when he launched into his tirade of ugly words directly at Miss Party. But you can see that there were jokes there.
Yeah. That's not true because that was funny.
But even if he doesn't land them, it's like if you can see if you can get an expert to say, oh yeah, here's where he was trying to get a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Here's where he's trying to get a laugh.
Well, let's scroll back up to the thing that he said to her because it's fucking clearly a joke. And if it's the way...
That's for the water throwing.
And by the way, this is people recanting
go down.
No, it's right there. It's right there.
Hold on, water throwing.
Huh?
She threw water at him twice.
Instead of saying to the very
wait a minute. She threw water at him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just silly. Come on, crazy lady. Like, what are we doing? We kind of
wasn't enough?
We barely hitting each other? We're going to slap? We're going to have a slap fest?
She threw 2 glasses of water.
Threw 2 glasses of water.
And he broke her sunglasses in turn.
And then he broke his
God,
sunglasses.
Jesus Christ. What are they doing? They're like chimps, smacking trees.
I could see that. If somebody threw a glass of water at me and then threw another one, and it was a girl, so I couldn't hit her, I'd be like, well, you can't just fucking... I could see
Wow.
I could see that.
Fuck.
I don't know if I would or not.
As Mr. Earl told it, however...
You're not even lesbians. No guy will fuck you. That's why you're with each other. That's the joke.
Yeah. Well, it's clearly a joke. But listen to his point of view, though. He says, the couple was passionately kissing in the front and repeatedly interrupting the set with obscenities. When Mr. Earl tried to shut up the table with the quip, you're not even lesbians, no guy will fuck you, that's why you're with each other, just thus kissing off the ugly escalation. Well, okay.
Dude, that's the exact situation. That's happened a billion times that you've seen.
Yes.
People are being way too loud and disruptive.
And they don't believe
And
they are.
They have no idea.
Well, it's people we were talking about before.
So this
People are
tribunal
drinking.
said, okay, if that happens and you're too harsh, you're going to have to pay money that you can't afford. That's an open micer paying $15,000.
Canada has legislated politeness. That's how serious they take their politeness up there. They've made laws where you have to be polite. Well, in this situation, clubs are going to start recording, filming sets. That's the only way they're going to be able. I mean, this owner would have had to protect
Then that takes
himself.
away the sort of... stand-up comedy is counterculture.
It
And
is
part of it exists
counterculture.
because, like, hey, nobody's recording this. This is all just existing right now in a basement of some hole.
I agree, and I think that's
If
a
you
beautiful
record everything,
aspect of it.
then you take away, like, hold on.
Right. I agree with you. I think it's a beautiful aspect of it. But this poor fucking guy, I mean, if this is the landscape
they're gonna
he's
have to.
operating in, he's the owner of the goddamn club is getting fucked over by an open micer. So, hey, he has no incentive now. This isn't just the
Yeah, right.
$7,000.
Why would any club, why would any place have an open mic at their place?
Open mic nights are filled with crazy people.
And people who will become great comedians.
Yes. But the ratio's very high to crazy.
But even the ones that are going to become great are terrible when they're at the open mic.
Yes, and they can make terrible decisions. And
Yeah.
and they might be one day, 20 years later, your all-time favorite comedian. But right now, they're clunking their way through everything and spilling their fucking drink and looking. Nobody does it right in the beginning. It's an ad-lib thing. And when you're ad-libbing like that, like where there's people in the audience that are disrupting the show, if it's true from his perspective, what he's saying, well, they're interrupting with his job. And his job is to talk and to be funny. So now you've engaged in some sort of a verbal warfare with a comedian who has a microphone.
They make him pay for that because they couldn't see where the comedy would be.
Well, the fact that she threw drinks at him, that should sort of void out the whole thing. Like, I guess.
Unless you're saying, well, she was already so disrupted that
Right.
she had to.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't like talking about these things if I wasn't there, because
But you can
we all
see
know.
how this could play out exactly like a show you've been. You
Exactly.
could be on that side of that. so easily.
100%.
So now what you're saying is, hey, open mic places, don't start.
That's the worst part about it. It's going to discourage the clubs from taking a chance and putting on these amateurs who they don't know these people.
Oh.
In open mic night, folks, let me just put it in perspective.
We had a guy who dropped an N-bomb maybe 75 times at this place on Sunset, at this recovery place.
A recovery place? What's a recovery place?
It was just where like AA people hung out.
Oh, and he did like a set there?
Yeah. It was
an open mic night?
It was an open mic, and it was so uncomfortable.
Whoa.
But then whatever, he felt it too. Mm-hmm. He probably won't do that again.
Or he will.
Or whatever.
He'll cut it down, about 10 N-words.
Oh. Or that's his point, is he's trying to shock everyone.
Yeah.
So that's fine. He did it.
Or he just maybe doesn't know how goofy he sounds. Some people don't know how goofy they sound.
Yeah.
You got to get a response from people. Like, if you're around
and it's like, what if you're going
people,
to shock? What if that's what you're going for, is to offend, and that's what you're looking for? That's the emotion you're trying to get out of an audience. And it's like, we're going to legislate and say, that's not one you can get out of them.
Or what if it's like you think that that's going to be funny, but it's not?
Yeah.
Like you just suck it. It's not working. Like you suck at this kind of, like Diaz angry is one of the funniest things ever. Yeah. When his fucking face gets red and he starts getting mad, he starts screaming about how when he was a kid, he bottled water. He goes, I used to drink puddle water. You know, when he does that, he's fucking beat red in the face. Like that real anger, that shit's hilarious because he's got jokes and it's real anger. But when you have like a manufactured anger, and you're trying to be edgy.
Yeah, fake rants.
Yeah.
You can see through them. To me, that's offensive.
It's offensive if you're not in the moment, for sure.
Yeah.
Like when Joey's talking about bottled water, he's in the moment. You
drink bottled water.
we've all sort of figured this out in our own way. But when you're on stage and you're locked in, right?
Yeah.
Like the audience is laughing hard, everything's going great. It feels like some kind of a mass hypnosis in a way. Because like,
oh yeah, you're conducting it.
Yeah.
You just like point at them and they'll all laugh.
Yeah. Well, it's that, but it's also like I feel like when I watch when
you're in the audience.
Yeah, I watched Burr the other day at the store in the main room, and then Chappelle the other day in the OR.
You're locked in.
Dude, I loved it. I loved it as an audience member, and I was thinking like when they were doing their jokes, and I'm laughing. I'm like going along with their thought process, and I'm as it's happening to me, I'm recognizing this thing that it's somehow or another they're thinking for you, like they're thinking for you, and you're just on a ride with their thoughts.
Who's thinking for you?
The comic on stage.
Yeah.
No, so when someone has some fake rant, and you're like, oh, stop. Like if someone came over your house and went, the problem with the government is programs on TV are programming you. That's why they call them programs. You know, if this guy was in your house, you'd be like, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Come on, man. But if Diaz is in your house and he starts talking to you about some shit,
oh, the government is a fucking program.
You have a free show. You have like a show with Diaz.
Yeah.
We have shows with him whenever we hang out. Like, he'll perform at the restaurant. He'll perform on the ride over.
New Year's was fun.
He's always on. He's alive, you know?
Yeah. I just don't think it should be up to anyone to decide what that line is of right or wrong, or nailed it or didn't nail it.
Yeah. You just can't.
My line is different than your line.
Even
can't. The too soon kind of thing. Like I heard Jeff Ross do a joke about something. It was South Carolina, but it was like a year later. But I remember people trying to do jokes right then, and people were like, no. And so then Jeff did it, and it hit, and still got an O like a year later. You know, like oh, but it's like what I want as an audience member is the day of.
Yeah.
So we like different things. I like spicier foods, so it's fine.
My favorite example of people saying something isn't funny that was fucking hilarious was Artie Lang.
What?
Artie Lang got in trouble.
Oh, for that Twitter stuff?
Because he said. He goes, I was having sex with this really, I'm paraphrasing, I was having sex with this really hot black girl, and I was on top of her, and she goes, I can't breathe. And I'm like, let's not make this political, honey.
Let's not bring politics into the bedroom.
Yeah, that's what it is. Let's not bring politics in the bedroom. But people got up and screamed at him, apparently, at the cellar in New York, and they stormed out of here. I mean, this is like a year after the guy attempted suicide, too, by the way, right?
Oh, Artie?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it like a year before that? Like, it wasn't like a long time.
No, maybe a couple years, but not a lot.
Maybe 2 years, right? So he's just getting back.
But it was the
stand-up
heart
again.
of that I can't breathe time. When
Exactly.
People are like, fuck you.
Eric Gardner.
You can't make jokes about that. And it's like, oh, yes.
See, me, I felt, I mean, the only way you would look at it and say you can't make jokes about that is if you feel like it's somehow racist. Because if it was any other reason, like you could totally make a joke about that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're not even listening to it right. You're just going, I think this is wrong. I'm going to interrupt and yell.
Yeah, if you listen to what he's saying in the joke, like, come on. Like,
that'd be like interrupting fucking...
It's not even a joke.
A Jonathan Swift essay because you're like, wait, are you saying we should kill kids?
Yeah.
You're saying he just said we should eat children.
Yes, exactly.
Let's get this guy the fuck off.
But the joke is not saying... It's not making fun of the guy who died and the cops killing him.
Yeah.
The joke is making fun
of everyone talking about it.
Yes, that's it. It's just the joke is him with a hot black girl and he's smothering her because he's fat. She says, "I can't breathe." I mean, that's a fucking great joke.
Yeah.
It's a great joke and it's not mean.
Yeah.
Here's the joke: the protests are affecting my life. Last week, I was having sex with a black girl. She yelled out, "I can't breathe." Oh, well, he put it on Twitter.
Yeah, this is right at the end of 2014. So it's right at the height of the Black Lives Matter thing.
Right.
Oh, he didn't.
Well, this was the height of
the punchline.
I think the Black Lives Matter thing has never been bigger. So I don't think you can say at the heart of it. I think it's bigger now than ever before.
No,
but
it was bigger then.
No,
Right
I don't
then.
think so at all. I don't think so at all.
I think it's kind of eating itself a little, and people going,
well, like all
there was the
activism
backlash
groups,
where it's like
you're gonna
all
get
lives
some weird
matter. It's just
people.
cops.
Well, and there's also one of the guys who worked for him was white.
Oh, really?
See that? They kind of proved this guy was white.
Who?
One of the guys in Black Lives Matter. Like
Was
one of the
white?
head guys.
Oh.
Apparently, he's a white guy. Allegedly. What the fuck do I know?
What does that mean?
I don't know. But the point is, like, that one was particularly egregious. That incident with that Eric Gardner guy. I got disgusted by that.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
Because all it was cigarettes. The guy was selling loose cigarettes. He didn't do anything.
And that's the problem with that is that comes from it comes from a place of that guy had to sell loose cigarettes to make a living. That's not like he ain't robbing people. He's selling loose cigarettes for a fucking $1 a piece.
Yeah.
Like for the people who can't afford to pay. Like that's not a guy who's wants to dream of that as a job and a career.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, they're poor people, and you're saying we have regulations where the government's got to get paid, so some guy's able to push you around, and they're like, he had asthma, but it's like, why is he fucking being that violent?
You're never
Instead of telling the guy to beat it.
Cops are not supposed to be revenue collectors.
Yeah.
They're just not. That's stupid. It's stupid for the cop to be put in that position where you're making them arrest people because you have a quota. Like, we have to figure out a way where these people don't get paid that way. Like the idea that you have to have a certain amount of crime every day in order to keep your position
prove you made arrests.
as a cop. That's insane. Like, what about a perfect world where we employ a lot of great cops? They become a member of the community, a respected member, because you don't have any fucking crime, so the cop doesn't be a problem anymore. It's not, or
feel like in the Old West,
you don't look at him as a problem.
Don't do anything here because the sheriff's got to.
Well, you should look at cops. It would be ideal, like in a perfect world.
Yeah.
All the people that were police officers would be the coolest fucking people in the world. They just wanted everything to be cool, everything to stay calm. And in the best case scenario, you live in a world where, like we were talking about, how little violence there is. Imagine if that got way better. Imagine if like the douchebag factor got reduced dramatically, in whatever way. Imagine, imagine how wonderful it would be.
Yeah.
The world would be perfect. We wouldn't have this fear that people constantly have of getting their home broken into or getting their ass kicked or getting in a fight or getting this or getting that. All of it could go away. But you can't just fucking choke a guy for cigarettes. You can't do that. You just can't do it.
Yeah, the way they slam people's faces into the pavement when they arrest them,
criminal.
it's
like what is it? Because it's written down somewhere? Someone decided there's a swath of land and you've got to mark across it. Some people sneak over. They don't have good paperwork, so they don't get a good education. Who knows what this guy's life was like.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if he was an immigrant. I'm making up an immigrant story, but there's so many people that do so many different things in this world because they're trying to get by. And the idea that someone would tackle you and choke you just because you're selling loose cigarettes, like,
for at worst, a ticketable offense.
How about if he's selling stolen cigarettes that he broke into a building and stole?
Yeah.
That's one thing. Well, this guy's
also,
a property thief.
They told that whatever, the head cop there was like, no more chokeholds. And so he did it anyway.
Yeah, he choked
And then he
that
had a
guy.
problem. But so
You
here's my
have to
question.
choke a guy like that in their defense. But here's the thing:
No, you
choke shouldn't kill you. You certainly do if it's a fight.
It wasn't a fight.
Exactly. In that situation, no. If he's defending himself, I'm saying the only time you would have to use a chokehold against a person is that if that person is somehow or
It wasn't a
another
fight. He wasn't
trying to
fighting
hurt
back.
you. Right.
So, okay, let me ask you a
He
question.
was just dragging
but
the guy
if
to
they
the
told
ground.
them to stop using chokeholds and he used it anyway, now take
Well,
it
you
to me.
have to if you want to take the guy to the ground.
Yeah, but he said the head cop was like, guys, no more of these.
Right.
Before this,
Exactly.
he used it anyway. So if I went and choked somebody, and he died, and I could say, well, he had asthma. What trouble would I be in?
Big time manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
For sure. Yeah.
And I couldn't use the excuse.
It depends. Depends on what evidence the guy could be. Like in this situation,
Same
that guy-
situation, let's
okay,
say.
let's look at this situation because in this situation, that
I'm
guy
the
was
store owner.
totally passive. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It was ugly. It was ugly the way they grabbed him. It was ugly the way. But what I'm saying is like if you want to control a guy who's that big, once it's a physical altercation, don't wait until he starts punching you or biting you before you choke him. You choke him quick.
Yeah.
That's just what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm not condoning it in any way, shape, or form. I think it's a terrible, terrible miscarriage of like what's ethically right. What's ethically right. It's not that the people with guns that are employed by the state come after you and drag you to the ground because they're not getting their tax money from you,
Yeah.
which is all this loose cigarette thing is.
And what if the store owner did the exact same thing?
Well, what if you were saying if
Yeah,
you did it,
uh-huh.
you would have to have a reason to do it. I mean, there would have
So
to be
let's say I
some
was a
sort of an
store owner,
altercation.
and
You're
I
the
came
store
out there
owner.
like the same reason the cop like, hey, I don't want you here. I sell cigarettes in here. And the guy was like, I'm just trying to do, and then he just ran up behind
depends-
him, choked him, and then his asthma made him die.
It depends on how it escalates. You know, if you just attacked him, I would say, yeah, man, you just assaulted him for no reason.
Like
or,
this.
but what if he told you to fuck off and then tried to sucker punch you, and you had to duck under his
He
punch?
didn't. He didn't do this though.
Exactly, he didn't. So then it would be a different story.
Yeah.
So in this situation, I mean, this wasn't like the store owner didn't do shit. They called the cops. The cops, but it was about a fight because that guy there had been a fight before. That's why the cops had showed up. So they showed up all geared up.
tense.
Yeah, they showed up geared up because there was an incident, and I think this guy might have even called it in. The guy who they wound up killing.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what happened, but this dude just happened to be there when it went down. I might be wrong about him calling it in, but he was just there. And so they had come looking for this fight. The fight wasn't there, and then they started going after this
What's
guy.
the result of this cop? What happened to him?
I don't know, man. I don't want to single the cop
Damn it.
out. I don't even want to mention his name. The
Well,
whole
I mean,
thing
did he
is-
get off, or is he
don't-
in trouble?
I'm sure he was.
Well, there's a cop I was just looking right now. 2 days ago, a cop was charged in this incident.
In the Eric
But
Garner?
it's a woman, so it's not the one that put him in a chokehold.
I mean, we
Two.
could.
Sergeant, so she might be one of the ones that's in charge of the people that did it. So I'm looking right now, though.
That's what happens when you're a leader, right? That's again like the club owner and the open micer. Imagine if you're a sergeant and you're a rookie out there, choke some guy to death, and you get in trouble and you get kicked off the force. You lose your cushy job.
And she's charged right now with failure to supervise, an internal charge.
Oh.
Damn, they got her with failure to supervise. How the fuck is she supposed to supervise like these guys choking this guy on the street? What is she supposed to do?
It's like the losses on the coach.
Is your forearm under his chin? Yes or no? Stop. Let me check your technique. What is she
I
supposed
was in New York
what
then
could she
when it
do?
happened,
That's
and there were those cops. I remember passing by these cops talking to each other.
Yeah.
And one was going, "That's not a choke.
it's a fucking choke.
That's not a choke.
Let me put you in
He
it.
got it in a hold on his neck."
Let me put you in it.
No thanks.
I'll choke the shit out of somebody. Anybody tells me that's not a choke, let me hold your neck
Really?
like that.
Well, what qualifications
yeah.
do you have to be able to say what a choke is?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a couple things. You know.
Would you? You could definitely be called as an expert.
Well, I said
witness.
it on Twitter. I said as a martial arts expert. I even said that as a professional martial arts expert.
Yeah.
I'll tell you very clearly that's a choke. I will choke the fucking life out of you with that. If I have your head in between my arms, forget me, okay? How about Eddie Bravo? Listen to me. If Eddie Bravo has your neck and it's trapped in between his arms, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
You're just going to sleep. That's a choke. If he's got your neck like they had Eric Gardner, you're going to sleep. If Jake Shield, look at this. Come on, man. That guy has his finger tucked under his wrist.
The
He's
problem
got
is
the hand in the back. He's just got a shitty choke.
He doesn't have the proper technique for sure.
Right.
And the
but
other
he's-
guy's holding his hand.
He's definitely underneath the guy's chin, though. But this is
Yeah.
just a freeze frame. That might have been like a brief millisecond of struggle. You know, where he was pushing down with his left arm and up with his right. Because if you look at his right arm, in this position, that right arm is just an underhook. That's not putting any pressure on his neck. The only thing that's pushing pressure on the neck is the left arm, which is under the chin, but there is definitely some space. There's definitely some space between.
Show the video.
Because it's not under his chin. You see where his chin is? Like, look at, make it bigger real quick. Make it bigger. But this is just one picture.
Yeah.
If you see where his chin is,
yeah, he's just got the back of his
What
hand.
happened? Going to your Twitter? How dare you?
No, I hit bigger and it went to that.
Oh. But I saw an image where they were like on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw a different image. There it is. See, that's a choke.
Oh, for sure.
That's a choke.
Oh, he's got under the neck, too.
That's a fucking 100% choke. I'll choke you to death with one arm like that if you let me. If you let me get under your chin like that, like this guy's letting him. He's not resisting. He's being, what I mean, he's letting him. I mean, he's in a position where he can't do anything about it, I should say.
But like, even if
I
he
say
didn't die,
letting him, like,
even if he
like
didn't die,
it's his fault.
Let's say nothing happened to him. You know,
Well, he's not defending it.
Yeah,
And so
but
if
like,
he's not defending it, it's 100% of that guy's might. The left guy, he's in a side choke position, so he's pushing down with his left shoulder as well as pulling up with his left hand. And if he puts his left hand on the guy Eric Gardner's shoulder, he
like
uses
that.
that as leverage. Like guys choke. Luke Rockhold tapped out Michael Bisping with a one-arm guillotine. Okay, from the mount position, that's a powerful move. I mean, it's not exactly this move here, but it's very similar in regards to how much pressure you can put down with your shoulder and how much you can pull up with your arm. That's a fucking choke. I'll choke the shit out of you with that. Somebody gets you in a bed, like Marcelo Garcia. How about Jacare? Jacare gets a hold of you like that? Yeah, that's a fucking choke. You're going to go to sleep.
And he
It's
was
not the
saying, "I
best
can't
choke
breathe."
in the world. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not like the perfect choke. The perfect choke is, like a Marcelo Garcia rear naked choke where the technique is just so laser sharp. Is a laser
No
sharp?
sound on that?
Lasers might not even be sharp. Like in Star Wars, they're not sharp.
Are you serious?
Do we really need to watch this guy die? They're fucking with him, I'll tell you that.
I didn't sell anything.
He's like, I didn't sell anything. He didn't even have loose cigarettes on him when they arrested him. Did you know that?
No way.
Nope, didn't have them.
Who got you do what? Who got sell cigarette to? To who?
Not that retro. There's another guy in the retro.
Easy way or hard way for what? Every time you see me, you want to mess with me. I'm tired of it. It stops today.
This guy right here is forcibly trying to lock somebody up for breaking up a fight.
So yeah, he broke up a
Everybody
fight.
standing here, they told you I didn't do nothing. I did not sell nothing. Because every time you see me, you want to harass me, you want to stop me, you want to sell cigarettes.
You know
I'm
what
minding
the
my
world
business.
needs is a mediator.
What do you mean?
Stop. Like, let's press a button on our app,
A life mediator.
and we have a life mediator show up who's like a really cool dude like The Rock. Like, I feel like The Rock could have kept that guy alive. He
Yeah.
would have got there in between the cops. Boys, relax here. Let's talk this through. He would figure out some, let's be rational, man. We'll regret it in the morning. He'll have like some motivational shit. Maybe take him to the gym. Everybody does some squats.
Diaz had a guy at Brea, a show, I think we all did. I think it was Brea, where the guy was getting kicked out and they were like, he wouldn't leave, so they were calling the cops, and Diaz was like, you got to get out of here. They're going to arrest you. Just leave.
Oh, yeah, that video.
And he
We
goes-
made a video of it, remember?
No, I don't. Really?
Yeah, there was a video of
Because
it.
they're going to rape you. You're small. They're going to rape you in prison. Just go. So you don't get raped in prison. You have to go.
I'm pretty sure Red Band got a video of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he got a video of it and then maybe a video of the guy getting arrested later.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't go. He was settled in.
Yeah, you never know, man. God damn it, Shaffir, life is good.
Yeah.
Life is good, but I need a tank. Either
Already
a little one or a
already
big
did my
one.
show.
Artie Lang did it?
Uh-huh.
What did he talk about?
He told two stories. So one's going on just web, one's going on TV. He talked about when he was on Mad TV doing a bunch of blow while he was supposed to be working and fucking.
This is the only life where you can talk about things like that.
Just casually. Yeah.
And it seems funny.
Yeah.
Whereas if he was an insurance salesman and he was talking to the people at his
Oh, yeah.
sober
You
counseling.
cannot talk about your cocaine. By the way, new episode's February 23rd on Comedy Central.
Oh, season 2? Is it Deuce? Are you calling it Deuce?
Season deuce.
Season Dose?
Yeah, I should say that.
You're I like
What?
I like what you're doing. Like,
What do you mean?
overall, I like what you're doing with your life. I like how you go on these nutty trips. You just take a month and just go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you went to Thailand for a while. Like you're doing what if like you talk to your average stoner
Yeah.
who is a brokester and is just barely getting by. Man, if I had fucking money, you know what I'd do, dude? I wouldn't even be worried about shit, man. I just fucking leave my phone behind. I'll go to Thailand for a month. I don't give a fuck. I tell my agent, suck my dick. I'll be back in 30 days. Until then, deal. But we have meetings, but we have fuck you. I'm going to Thailand. Just bring your laptop. Fuck you. So you just decided. You just decided.
I had to go to Atlanta first to shoot some, and then right to Thailand, so I mailed my phone back to my home.
Yeah, dude.
And went and got on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
No, you're doing it exactly the right way.
Find some shit in a new country.
Mm-hmm.
Eat some crazy noodles.
Yeah. Experience some weirdness.
They sell so much Viagra on the streets of Bangkok.
Thank God.
It is everywhere. They just look at you and they're like, Viagra, Viagra. And you're like,
look like-
first of all, this is like Viagra. It's such clearly a knockoff.
Does it work?
I don't know. I wasn't going to try it because they weren't discounted to like $1 a pill. They were like half as much as they would have cost in like a store here.
And that was offensive to you. Look at your
was
face.
like,
You're
yeah,
like, excuse
come on.
me, we're in a third world country.
Exactly.
You don't deserve my money.
There are children working right now and it's 3 a.m. and that guy's 6 and he's trying to sell me shit. So I think the prices should reflect that.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of money to get by in Thailand, right?
Oh no. Once you're there, you're good.
And it's
Dude, everything
relatively
is
safe.
free. Thailand's a little more dangerous. China's super safe. Thailand, you can get fucked with a little bit, but it's relatively safe. It ain't like any worse than here, really. The only thing you got to worry about a little bit is cops more.
Oh, really? Thailand?
Yeah,
They probably know Muay Thai. Fuck you up.
maybe.
You know?
But yeah, I walked around the streets and shit, even the small places and the big places.
Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't really feel any danger.
Did you go to Muay Thai fights?
I went to Thai kickboxing fights.
Yeah.
They just play this fucking
So
flute
annoying.
thing the whole time.
Yeah. It's an annoying sound.
And they each have a dance of their own, like sensei. They have to do this special dance of their own dojo.
Well, I think it's called the Y Crew. I think that's how they spell it.
It was
I
so
might have said it
cool.
wrong. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
They have okay. So you just walk down this like
Yeah, explain what that is.
what the whole.
The whole little dance, because people are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
They have to do this. They introduce each person, and then as they're both in there, I think they do it together. Maybe one at a time. I'm not really sure. They just do this act out dance where they just sort of like kick a knee up,
Yeah.
and then do like a
Well,
fake clinch.
Yeah. They throw
maybe a
like,
spin,
yeah.
kick and stuff, but just by themselves, not at anybody. And then they do that for a while. They go all the way down to like one knee, where one
here, we'll
foot
watch
goes way
one.
out behind.
We'll watch these guys
yeah,
do
at
it.
the same time.
These are the hardcore guys. They're doing a lot more of these matches. You see these guys wraps on their hands?
Yeah.
They're going to fight bare knuckle. See, this is it's not totally bare knuckle. You have wraps, but they're not going to wear gloves. And there's quite a few fights that are taking place where guys are fighting like this now.
Yeah,
and
they
I'm
have the-
wondering if it's an impact of MMA being more popular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
The ones I saw had these thick boxing gloves on.
there's this guy I follow on Instagram, Sanchai. He's a bad motherfucker, and he just fought the other night with those gloves on, where the wraps rather, no gloves. And I was like, wow, he's doing those fights. Like some of the top Thai guys are doing these fights.
And
like
they
these
wrap that
Thai
rope
guys,
around their head. It's just sort of like, this is all ceremonial right now.
Yep. Well, it's not
Yeah,
just.
yeah. They do the spin things with their hands.
No, it's also a warm up. See, when you watch what he's doing here, when he
Yeah.
bends his knee down and picks his foot up, he's stretching his hips.
Oh.
He's stretching like all the muscles around his upper leg. It'll make it more loose for kicking.
Oh.
So he's loosening up. See, all the power in your kick
Yeah.
comes from weight, but it comes from your hips. A lot of it is like the swinging of the hips and the engaging of the hips when you throw kicks. So what he's doing is like it's conducive to warming up that area where you were gonna light someone's legs up.
Oh.
They're both doing it. See how they're
Yeah.
both doing it? It's a warm up.
Oh, so
But
it's
it's
just a
also
choreographed
spiritual.
warm up for their own place.
Right. But it's also spiritual. Like,
So, dude, you have these. So you're walking down the street and you see an alley, and you just go down to the alley, and there's just a ring in the middle of it, and maybe a
Jesus.
pool table and like 4 like makeshift bars around it.
Wow.
There's like it almost looks like a lemonade stand at the Rose Bowl swap meet. You know, and then you just get booze. Some people come around taking bets. Like, who do you want?
Wow.
And then if you pick the right guy, you can bet whatever bet you want, and they'll just pay it off.
Dude, this is a beautiful art.
Yeah.
I love Muay Thai. It's beautiful, but see, like that, he was doing one-legged squats.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, you're just trying to warm
stretching.
up. Yeah, he's just trying to warm up his hips. And they're right next to each other, too, and they're about to beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
They're all real respectful.
Yeah.
I didn't see any. I went to a couple different ones. They have these weird promoters. These are just back alley things, and they just get like 50 people to show up.
Well, they're the same way, though, even when they're world champions.
Really?
It's really interesting. Yeah, I've seen world championship fights where the two fighters but I've also seen animosity. I watched this fight in L.A. where Buakaw was fighting this guy, and Buakaw, I think his name was Parmet. It's like their name, part of their name is what their gym that they're fighting out of. But I think his actual name is Buakaw.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure. Either way, he's a bad motherfucker, like a world champion, world-class Thai fighter.
Yeah.
And he fought this dude who was really disrespectful to him. So he did this like very violent and aggressive dance towards him. And
Really?
It was very different. It's very different than I'd ever seen before, where he'd like launched arrows at him and shit, and like had all this like choreographed, but it was like directed towards this guy. Then they fought, and he fucked him up. He lit him up. He
shot the arrows at him and also fucked him up?
Well, he fake shot the arrows during his dance, but when they fought, he fucked the dude up. He was like,
he backed out the trash.
Buakaw's he's on a very high level as a Thai fighter, and there's a lot of fighters who are maybe aggressive and athletic, and they hit really hard, and they overestimate their ability. And they just think they're a bad motherfucker. They've knocked a bunch of guys out. They're going to fight Buakaw. They're going to knock this motherfucker out too. Like, people have this idea in their head, but you get in there with that guy and you realize, like, oh, okay, I can't even hit him. And every time I move, he's killing my legs. Every time I come close to him, his knee is getting buried into my rib cage. He's elbowing me in the head on the break and then smiling at me and doing it all over again. He's going to keep doing it. And your body's going to start breaking down. And that's what happened. He just started beating the fuck out of this dude. Like, those guys were getting a little aggressive there.
Yeah, he was.
He got
giving the wave off. This is lasting way longer than anything I saw.
Yeah, these guys love each other, I think. I think they're going to start making out. I think Jamie just tricked us into watching some gay porn. It's going to start off. That's why
Ring
they have
porn.
the gloves on. They're
Oh, they
just
didn't
going to
even do
fist
it.
each other with those things.
But yeah,
how
I
many
like seeing
fights did you
shit, man.
see?
I saw probably 10 fights the first time.
Wow.
And then in Chiang Mai, I probably saw another probably 7, 8 fights.
What was the fight where you and Duncan were in the crowd at the UFC and you timed it perfectly?
Don't know who was fighting. It was
I
a wrestling
do.
fight.
Nate Marquardt and Brad Tavares.
Yeah.
Powerful memory. How do I
Nice.
remember that? How can I remember that? My wife will tell me some shit yesterday. I'm like, you never said that. Meanwhile, she totally talked for like 10 minutes about it.
Really?
But Nate Marquardt versus Brad Tavares,
Oh, it
deep
was
in the
so
memory
much fun.
banks. That's it. Nate Marquardt, Brad Tavares. And
So
then
we're sitting in the
they
front
get close, and when the camera came to them, they made out.
Look at Frosty dying laughing.
How dare you? How dare you?
Duncan was just
little
watching.
Easter eggs.
So we're starting to throw Illuminati signs up for
Yes.
like Illuminati signs. We made a big one with my whole forearm and his both giant triangles. And then he goes, at some point Duncan's like, we kept taking it up a notch. And at some point he just leans to me and he goes, you know we got to kiss, right? And I was like, motherfucker. Yes, you're right.
Oh, dude.
And so I'm watching a fight, and Duncan's staring at the monitor the whole time, just staring, waiting for it to come on us. And then at some point, he just goes, now. So I just had to turn and start making out.
Yeah, we got to be careful about that, folks.
What?
Get me in trouble.
Oh, I know.
The UFC didn't even care. They thought it was funny.
Dana wrote me the next day.
Dana's an animal. He doesn't give a fuck.
I didn't know if he met, but he goes, you two are quite the social media stars this morning.
But look, it ain't a bad thing. It's funny. You didn't do anything wrong.
Nah.
Like, Dana's a regular person.
Yeah.
You know, like, for having a guy who's the president of like the Illuminati sites. You guys are so retarded. Oh my god, that is so stupid. We're children. We're in our 40s. What the fuck is wrong with us?
Duncan, the people he thinks legit think that he's in the Illuminati.
Of course
So
they
he's
do.
like,
They think I am too. They think
give
I'm a
him
Satan
signs.
worshiper. Because I went to that performance that he did at that guy's funeral.
Duncan?
Funeral. This is where my mouth
it was
is.
just a show. It
His
was a
wedding.
birthday party.
It's a wedding.
Oh, the wedding thon.
Remember? Someone's wedding. It was one of the LaVey's, Anton LaVey's
We went to that
grandson
show.
or something like that.
And
Duncan.
there. He performed at one of his like birthday parties of the dead grandfather.
Oh, really?
had a show.
I wasn't there for that one. But Duncan
did
did
Little
Hobo.
Hobo.
Yeah. It was so bizarre. It was just so strange. I ran into a bunch of people I knew there, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are quite the Satanists, huh?
Yeah. Well, they weren't really Satanists.
Like
They
with
were-
Red
like
Fox?
one of them was hired. It was Dave Foley's wife at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hey, what's up? Well, she was there. There was a bunch of people. Didn't we run into some other comics there, too?
I wasn't at the wedding.
You didn't go to that wedding?
No.
It was just me and Duncan and Joey. Joey went. Eddie Bravo went
went.
too. Yeah, we were like, what the fuck is this? Was it some party? Well, it necessarily was a wedding. It was like 6. I don't know. Whatever.
I met a guy.
Hank Third was there too. That's who it was.
Hank Williams III.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet him,
That guy's
but
pretty
I
cool.
like his
Cool
music.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
And he was
He's
awesome.
got country roots too.
Oh, deep. He was awesome in that Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
That was a good movie.
Holy
They
shit.
were rednecks.
Oh my God! But he was great in it too. You know, like and he's like helping narrate it and talk to the Jesco, the dancing outlaw.
Uh-huh.
What a bunch of fucking awesome, strange people.
They run shit too, huh?
Well, sort of. I mean, they're only getting arrested. And
They're
fucked
the
up.
Duke
It's just-
boys.
They're the real Duke boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Duke boys are supposed to be like these heart of gold moonshiners that don't want to fuck their cousin. I'm not buying it. I would be like, we're only cousins.
Yeah.
Look at this bitch. Nobody's fucking Daisy. Okay, she can't get a goddamn boyfriend. She's running around.
Oh, because she likes Cletus. She liked Cletus.
Can she make it more obvious? She's cut the legs off her shorts so you could just finger her on a swing. And she's there for you. She's letting
my
you know.
God.
She's hacking her shorts like no girl ever
No
before
girl's ever
her.
done that.
Ever.
Even now, it's like, God damn. And
Yeah.
she was doing it when no one was doing it.
And she was wearing men's shirts like she just got done fucking.
Tied
like she
up? Were they
tied some
tied up?
man's shirt on, like your shirt. She could be wearing your shirt.
Wow.
Buttons down to the 5th button, tied off on the bottom. Titties. Come on, son. She's got a man's shirt on. Why does that super hot girl have almost
That's a
no
second,
shorts
That's a
and a
second
man's
Luke
shirt?
Duke, right? That ain't number 1 Bo and Luke.
No, that's
number
real.
2 Bo and
How
Luke.
dare you? You don't even know your history.
Show me the number 2 Bo and Luke.
That's
yeah,
John
you're right,
Schneider.
You're right. You're right.
That's him. And
Yeah, it's been a while.
Tom Wopat.
Man, that hair. Those are the number 2s?
No, these
No,
are still the
same
real
guy,
people.
same guy. God, look at those shorts.
Jesus Christ, she was
All
hot.
pink.
This makes me nervous just looking at her.
You can see their fucking junk in their pants.
Yeah, their dicks was hard as rocks.
Oh my God,
Look at, they're
those are
right next to
tight
her,
jeans.
and they're not even related to her. It's not
Can you
real.
does she have camel toe on that?
She's got
It looks
everything.
like this is the beginning of one. Just the beginning of vag outline.
Everything.
You can see the slice.
Yeah. They had grandma panties back then.
Oh.
Guess who doesn't care? Me. Are you a panties guy?
What do you mean?
You like
Smelling them and stuff?
I like when girls wear thongs. I don't like granny panties.
I like when girls wear nothing.
Yeah. Say it. Somebody's got to.
What are you constraining yourself?
So they were moonshiners with a heart of gold that
They're
never got
smugglers.
any pussy. And they were beautiful men. Beautiful men and their hot cousin. It was a show where no one fucked. It was the most ridiculous world. It was way more ridiculous than the fact that they were shooting bows
Nobody
and arrows
fucked.
with lightning, with dynamite at the end of it, and they didn't have guns because they did time for fucking running moonshine. But the man should let them do what they do down here in Hazard County. We got our own rules.
Man, that was
But
a
nobody
fun show.
fucked. Nobody fucked.
Yeah, you think fucking Boss Hogg would have had a slew of hookers?
She should have
He
a
definitely.
line
They should
of
do
dudes.
that show now in reality. Like this is what it would be like.
Well, let's think about her. She was the only hot girl on the show ever.
Look who
she
fucking
should have
Uncle
a
Jesse's sitting
line
next to.
of dudes.
One of the grossest women of all time.
That's his wife. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
He would have been fucking
She's a
Daisy.
wonderful woman and
Uncle
a great
Jesse
cook.
would have been fucking her.
He would have been fucking her. Uncle Jesse would have fucked her. Everybody would have fucked her. Cletus, Scooter, Boss Hogg definitely would have had
Boss
her on
Hogg
the payroll.
definitely.
He would have had her on the payroll. She would have been riding right next to him in that Cadillac with the bullhorns in the front of it.
But she came on to the other guy.
Oh, Cletus.
She was always coming on to him.
Cletus is gay as fuck.
And he
didn't
was, like,
wanna admit it
uncomfortable by it.
because Jesus was strong in his life. That's why Cletus didn't want to admit it.
That's them now.
Don't show me now.
Don't
do it to me. Just don't do it to me, Jamie. Kill this thing. We're watching television now.
Oh, look at her sitting up on the. Oh. Her legs were so hot.
She was ridiculously hot.
We're watching, just watching TV now.
But here's what's crazy about that show. Was there another girl on the show ever besides like old ladies? Maybe she had like a rule in the contract.
She could be the only hot one.
Yeah, like listen, bitches, I'm running the show.
I don't think there was ever another lady. I watched it.
If I was running the Dukes of Hazzard, okay, this is why I'm not an executive producer. But if I was running the Dukes of Hazzard, I would say, okay, why do we only have one hot chick? Are you guys out of your fucking mind? We need to Baywatch this motherfucker up.
You would turn into porn if you were running it. Within 2 seasons, it'd be like, let's just, hey, boss hog.
No, it's a comedy, folks. You should have more funny, hot girls in the background doing other shit. Maybe running other alternative storylines. You have an A plot and a B plot.
This is the problem with Hollywood. As soon as you get some fucking heat, now you're like, let's put some more hot women in this sitcom. You're ruining it.
No. I'm trying to diversify. I'm thinking a hot Indian woman. That's what I'm thinking. A really hot Indian woman. You think you're gonna get. It's that close to happening, and she shuts
maybe
you
they're
down and makes
smuggling
you feel like an
a
idiot.
shipment of Jell-O, and the two of them have to maybe have some sort of battle.
Let's just make sure that Punch is up when we write this together.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna
everyone will
make
be white. Everyone will be white. We're
It
making
has to
fun of.
punch up. We make fun of white men, especially. Let's punch up. Okay, it's important, Ari. In this
Somebody
day and age.
recognized me in a island in Thailand. It said Eddie Bravo. He takes Muay Thai class there, and said Eddie Bravo's got to teach a seminar on Koh Samui.
He was going to teach a seminar.
No, he was like, please tell Eddie Bravo.
Oh, well, what are you, a messenger for
Yeah,
Eddie Bravo?
sure, why not?
Tell that motherfucker to get on Twitter like everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Fucking
You
middle
guys
of
have the
nowhere
internet.
places.
They have the internet. How dare he
Yeah,
try to
exactly.
use you? How about just say hello, man?
He
Tell me
did.
what you have a task. What am I, a carrier pigeon? You fuck, huh? What am I, a raven? You want to tie something to my ankle? And I'll
He
get
helped
it back
me. He
home.
helped me teach me how to like get the fucking kick out on my scooter. I was like, how do you fuck it? And he goes, Ari Shaffir. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, how do you kick the scooter thing out? And he goes, here, let me show you. Tell Eddie Bravo to come out here.
That would actually be really hot if you had like a girl who was like a super hot girl who
Yeah.
would carry a message to you taped to her ankle.
Yeah. And then what?
Like it became a service. Like
a messenger.
Yeah,
hottie.
you know how like maybe like you would hire someone to be a clown at a birthday party, or someone to show up at your office rather, and do a dance for you on your birthday.
Yeah.
You know, somebody got you a danceogram. Da 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 da. Instead of that, you have hot girls show up like ravens with a note attached to their ankle, and they have to put their leg up on your desk and untie the note and give it to you in some weird sort of semi-stripper sort of situation. And you read this little scroll that someone had written out, like old-timey.
That'd be
Go
pretty
way
hot.
back. Go way back.
That'd be
This is
pretty
how
hot.
you're gonna. This is gonna how you.
Can you have a
communicate
seal,
with
one of those
people.
wax seals that you have to stamp, like it hasn't
Absolutely.
been broken?
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, a wax seal around her ankle. Like just it's some maybe a little hot wax got on her.
How did it feel when this messenger was
It's
attached?
okay. I like it. I like pain. A little pain. I mean, don't hurt me. But a little hot wax never hurt anybody. That would be a new service.
How much would you pay? At least
old-timey.
$5 extra.
Well, what I'm thinking is
probably more.
Let's just concentrate on ballers. We move into Bel Air and Beverly Hills, where all these fuckheads are driving $1 million cars, and we just start running
Get
shit.
the former Miss Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
Who's running from a fucking uprising in her country.
Let's get crazy. Let's say each message costs $1,000 to deliver a message in Los Angeles.
In that style.
In that style, $1,000 plus tips. But you got to make sure the girls don't become hookers. You don't want.
They would just become hookers. Yo, you've already done this for 1,000? Well, I have 30,000 more if you'll.
Come on into my castle. How long have you been working for this agency? You're so much hotter than all the other girls who ever do this. Listen, you don't need this shit. Sit down. I'll call them. Have a drink with me. Do you like music? What kind of music you like? How about R. Kelly? Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk. Bitch, I wish you would burn my motherfucking clothes. Real talk. Have you heard Real Talk?
I heard it a long time ago.
It's maybe the greatest song humanity's ever done.
Well, the whole video series.
Everything amazing. Oh, the Trapped in the Closet? You're thinking of the Trapped in the Closet. Yeah, Trapped in the Closet was pretty deep.
Or Real Talk was the other thing.
Real Talk was one song. It was one song and one music video.
What happened to R. Kelly? So he went a little crazy too, then came back?
Shh, keep it on the DL, bro. He didn't do anything, man. Nothing happened.
What happened to R. Kelly?
Peed on a girl. Like, the girl was like 14. R. Kelly has 40 more chapters of Clap the
Wow.
This isn't real. This isn't real.
The
No.
Independent?
Oh my God, that sounds like The Onion. R. Kelly has 40 more chapters of Trapped in the Closet planned. He's amazing. I hope he never dies.
Wow.
I really hope he lives forever. He might be my favorite person ever. Real talk.
There's a specific kind of crazy that's famous crazy.
Yeah.
Where it's like no one will ever tell you, don't be this crazy.
Let's be honest. It's also black famous crazy.
Black famous crazy?
You couldn't pull that off if you're a white guy.
You can't wear a clock around your neck and act like it's normal if you're.
Black guys can pull off way more extravagance.
Yeah.
You know, like this isn't racist. I'm just being real with you people.
Says the guy with the sumo sword on his desk.
Somebody gave it to me. Samurai sword. Sumos don't have
sorry,
swords, you fucking racist. How dare you misappropriate culture. Oh my God, you're a terrible person. I always knew you were a racist. You hide behind the fact that you're a Jew. Oh, I'm so persecuted. Let me be racist.
Sumo and samurai.
Sumo.
What's sumo? Oh, the fat guys
The
throwing
fat
each other.
guys.
Oh, if
With
they
the
got
diapers.
swords. They should get
Imagine.
swords.
Oh my God, you're
wow, it
right.
would change the game in sumos.
You might have just made sumo amazing.
Made it relevant again.
The most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
Just watching guys go to war. Okay, how about
Fat
this?
guys going to war.
You're not allowed to stab through the body,
But you can
but you can
slash.
hack them apart.
You can hack.
So guys would just be covered with scars.
Oh, their fat would be pouring out and they get sliced open.
Spilling.
You'd have to give them shields.
No, fuck them.
No, the bellies of their shields. Can you at least make it like dull swords?
How about no swords? How about okay, what if you were playing like with lightsabers?
Yeah.
Right, but the lightsabers just shocked you.
Oh, but like a heavy, heavy shock.
Yeah, like a taser.
Right. Like a Jason Ellis type shock.
Yeah.
That
he
level,
would-
but
yeah.
with lightsabers.
Yeah, imagine if that was a sport. Oh my God, I might have just invented the perfect sport.
By the way, Jason Ellis, run with this.
Yeah, go for it,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
For real, I'll give
Yeah.
it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll even help.
Do they have lightsaber tasers?
They should.
They
Why
should.
don't they? If they don't, they're retarded.
Dude, if I was a girl and a rapist came at me and I had a taser, I'd be like, oh, fuck. But if I had a taser lightsaber, I'd be like, you're probably not going to continue with this,
You're
right?
gonna get fucked up.
You're going to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone can touch you with something like a lightsaber. Like they might be able to, well, depends on who you are, obviously. Like if you're Steven Seagal, he'll figure it out. He'll be able to block it and flip you. You never touch him with it.
Any part of you touched it, it shocks you.
Yeah, you'd have to just touch their feet. Like fake, you're going low, go high. Fake, you're
They couldn't
going high,
block
go
at
low.
all. Any sort of block at it would be
Well, anybody who
shocked.
knows fencing, for sure, they would fuck you up. Like
Yeah.
fencers would be the most dangerous people ever.
on Earth.
Well, imagine if you had one and it was small and you could press a button like you do with a
It
lightsaber
would come
and
out.
a rod extends.
Yeah.
Like a metal rod. Because they have those things, like those batons.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you press a button and it becomes a steel baton.
Taser rod.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
What are we, 12? What's wrong with us? We're grown men. We pay taxes. So you would press a button and it would just become electrified. Yeah, that totally seems like it would be a real thing.
Wow. Yeah, they probably have that in development, right?
How did they not? If they don't, they do now.
That Batman should have that.
Fuck yeah, you should have that. Superman will still fuck him up. That's why this movie's stupid. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, Superman, well, Batman's just going to put kryptonite all over his body. And Superman's going to go and make the world spin backwards so that Batman doesn't get the fucking kryptonite suit, dummy. He
Yeah,
can
why
make the world spin backwards. All he has to do is stay like 100 feet away from Batman.
He could find out when he got the kryptonite and just keep spinning backwards till it was like a month ago.
He would just pick up cars and throw them at Batman until he died. Just stop.
Well, he's not trying to kill him because he's all good.
But if he
Superman.
wanted to,
Yeah.
he could.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right? Everybody says, you don't get it, bro. Batman's evil. That's why he always wins. Listen, bitch.
Batman ain't evil.
Listen, bitch, even if he's evil, the other guy's bulletproof.
Evil.
Shut the fuck up. He's an alien.
Dude, do you remember when we were saying...
People just get angry right now. What if you don't even fucking understand comic books? When I did an Instagram post about that, oh my
Yeah.
God, people were so mad at me.
People got mad.
Why are you taking the Fear Factor guy seriously? Why are you taking me
You don't
seriously?
even know about comic books. Yeah, that's right.
You're
I
right.
don't know about the subject that you just said I don't know about.
I barely know something about comic books.
Dude,
And
those
almost all of it
previews
is
for Star
Marvel.
Wars, all the superhero movies were exactly the same.
Yeah, they don't look good.
We got to pull power back. You guys got to check in. We got to know about your powers.
They're getting
Government
kind of
gets mad. Other superheroes like, I'll help pull their powers back. Superhero fight. It was like it was a more than one preview, right? In Star Wars was same movie.
The last Avengers felt really stale.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw it right after the Machina. What is it?
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina, which was excellent. If you haven't seen Ex Machina, it's a movie about artificial intelligence, and it is beautiful. It is a perfect movie. I wouldn't change a thing about that movie.
Really?
That movie was so good.
The ending wasn't like boring and long?
No. That movie was amazing. That movie was like, whoa. Because the reality of these things, of this artificial intelligence this guy had created, was fucking feasible.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. It's really good. The drama's good. The whole thing is good. It's just so good. And then after that, I went to see the Avengers. I was like, this is so stupid. I'm like, this movie's so dumb. This is like I'm watching The Dukes of Hazzard take place with superheroes. It just was like, it didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like the Ex Machina, everything meant something. Like these people, their interactions, their interactions felt real. There's some real palpable tension. There's like real danger. They're being played by these artificial creatures that they've created that look exactly like people. It's good, man. It's good.
That's why Star Wars to me was like, whatever.
I love Star Wars.
It was just like a B- fun movie.
A+.
Kids.
A+.
There's no real characters.
5 stars.
Shut up.
I'll go 10 times. I loved it. I did love it, man.
I have, I think, almost exact opposite taste in movies as you.
And a lot of music too. You like a sucky selection of music.
You like a lot of the chick rock that I like. You're just quiet about it. Don't tell anybody that I'm blasting Nelly Furtado.
Bro, I like a little Nelly. She's got a beautiful voice. I like it better if I...
When I mentioned Lana Del Rey, and you were like, hey, who was that girl you were talking about before?
Dude, I picked up Eddie Bravo once and this girl that he was dating way back in the day, and I had Sheryl Crow playing in my truck.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you playing this?
If it makes you have something.
I loved it. I'm like, this is mine. This is mine. She goes, no, it's not. I go, yeah, it's a CD. I got the CD. It's like, no, you do not listen to this music. I'm like, but I do. So I don't know where we're going with this. Never spoke to her again. How rude. How rude. Eddie Bravo bringing these barbarians around. Yeah, you can't like chick rock. Otherwise, you're some kind of a pussy.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't care. I used to have my CDs alphabetized, and I would have them separated by chick singers and male singers.
Have you ever heard Grace Potter and the Nocturnals?
Heard of them, haven't listened to it.
Dude, that girl's got a voice.
Well, you know about Alabama Shakes, right?
No.
Oh, Joe.
Well, let's kiss one
You don't
person's
like
ass at
Alabama
a time.
Shakes?
No, they're good. I thought you was...
They're so much bigger, but yeah, it's Grace Potter. Yeah, they're pretty
They're
massive
bigger?
now. Yeah.
I think she's pretty big too. We don't know, dude. We're out of the loop.
I know
You don't
Alabama
know
Shakes
shit,
you've heard
bitch.
of.
You don't even have a phone. You got some fucking 1980 Morse code thing in your pocket.
I don't even it doesn't even vibrate when I get a text now.
Of course it does.
If it's in my phone, if it's in my pocket, I don't even know if people text me. And then 5 hours later, it's like, where are you? I need this information. I was like, oh, I don't know. I was walking.
Oh, God. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I got to only vibrate when it rings, and that's it.
Yeah,
It's the only notification.
I went through a clusterfuck when my phone upgraded.
Yeah.
And went from text messaging to sending iMessages.
Yeah.
And then I turned the iMessage off, but then people were still sending me iMessages.
And you couldn't get them.
And I was getting them on my computer, but I wasn't getting them on my phone. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, this system is so goofy. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you opt out of this? How do you I want everything in one place. I don't need it going everywhere. I don't need to be getting phone calls on my fucking computer. When I put my phone over there, I want to be able to get, like, the voicemails later. I don't want to see it on my computer when I'm working. So what do I have to do? Now I have to disable this, and why is this set there by default? Why is my phone making my computer ring by default? Can I get some shit done?
Yeah.
God damn it, Ari Shaffir.
Yeah, it's always infringing. It's always infringing in your day.
Get into the Borg.
Check Twitter. It's been 4 minutes.
Listen.
What if there's a new response?
The Borg calls you. Ari, your resistance is futile. independence. What are
Here's
you
my
gonna do?
real thing. I think it's going to get better, but I don't think we've developed an etiquette around phones yet.
You say that until you have 4 legs and every girl wants to blow you. Once you get that 4-leg upgrade, girls don't even know why. Something about them. As soon as you get 4 legs, just life looks up.
It did get way easier.
What's the matter,
I
Jamie?
was gonna say, what about the Twitter news of the weekend, where they might be
What?
changing some free speech stuff? They pulled away verification from.
Well, they
Milo.
pulled away Milo Yiannopoulos.
Verification for
They
what?
pulled his verification away.
Why?
They said that, well, they don't say exactly.
didn't say why.
Violation of terms of service.
So now he's no longer verified?
Exactly, but he's still allowed to post. So they're
But
not.
there's some posts are saying if it's offensive, they'll delete your account, right?
Well, he's not. See, he's not being any more. Look, here's a problem with that guy, and it's not a bad problem. He's funny, and a lot of what he's doing is theater. Like, and if he gets you riled up, especially if he has a point, and I
Yeah.
think he has a point with a lot of the things he's picking on.
Yeah.
He's not dumb. He's very smart, and so he's getting people riled up. Like a professional troll,
Yeah.
who's also a very bright guy who writes some pretty good articles.
Yeah.
I would say really good articles.
What is his deal?
Some
Is
of
he
them
a
are
comedian?
excellent.
Who
He
is he?
writes for Breitbart. He's hilarious. He's a conservative writer. He's a
Yeah.
conservative, I guess, a blogger. I guess you would call him. You wouldn't say he's a journalist. He's more of a, he writes editorials. He writes just pieces, right? But he's also gay, like gay as fuck, and conservative. And he goes and debates with these feminists and just crushes them with facts, and they can't attack him because he's gay.
So he has the
got-
punch down card, It's like
Yes.
the immunity.
He's got this weird loophole, and he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with him on some things, but he's a very bright guy.
Yeah.
So when he finds someone that he can pick on, especially like he's really into picking on feminists and calling them out on their hypocrisy and picking on people that just, and I mean, he'll go across the board with anybody if he thinks you're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he makes a big deal out of
And
it.
so then what? People got mad at what he was
Exactly.
saying?
Well, he'll
what's
say,
that-
I don't know, he'll say things to rile people up. He'll say offensive things. But guess what? You block him. I think it's enjoyable. Like,
problem
I
with-
think
with-
it's funny.
Where Twitter becomes weird, where it's like you have a bunch of followers who follow you. You say something funny on the offensive side instead of on the cute side. You'll get retweets if it's on the cute side or offensive side.
Yes.
So now the retweets go to people who don't follow you.
Yeah.
And they might not even know who you are.
Right.
So then they go like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Who's this guy? And they don't see that in context. They don't see it's 1 out of 10 tweets in a row about
Exactly.
a subject. So then they see it, and then they get mad and they flag
Yeah.
it, and then the people don't know. They're like, I don't know, it's been flagged 7,000 times. I guess people are mad at this guy. We got to ban him.
Well, yeah,
It's
especially
just a terrible road to go down.
yeah. If you're doing a series of
Yeah.
you
show one, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're not even looking at the context.
exactly. Yeah, that can definitely happen.
So they took away his verified. I
that doesn't
actively
mean
try to
anything.
not be verified.
But here's what I'm saying: they fucked up because now you've made him a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're playing right into his spider web.
Why is Twitter getting involved? If he's any level of celebrity, which he seems like he is, if he's a known writer, then
He's a known writer. He's
That's
been
what
on my
they-
podcast.
that's what they wanna verify.
He was great on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's a nut. Like I said, I don't agree with him about a lot of things, but I like what he's doing. It makes me laugh. Like what is the difference between what he's doing, and what a lot of like funny, humorous journalists have done?
Well, what about
Is it
feminists who
more
say something
offensive?
in
Exactly.
earnest that I think is like offensively wrong and anti-free speech, and it gets me angry. I don't try to get them banned from it.
Yeah, I don't mind. But I don't mind because it hasn't affected me.
I mind. I just don't want to stop them from saying it.
I mean, it hasn't affected me on a professional level.
Right,
And if it has, it's my fault. Anything that I've ever been affected by, like if I made a mistake, it's clearly been my fault. I've made definitely some errors. But I think there's a difference between, like, I think what
It's on
bothers
yourself
people
to make
about
those
it.
decisions, not for them to make them
Yeah.
for you.
Well, bothers, when getting back to that guy in Vancouver that had to pay $15,000. What bothers me about any interaction between two people, that like one person said something rude or another, who knows what exactly went down,
Yeah.
that money starts being a
Yeah.
thing that's thrown around. Because then the government gets their piece too, by the way.
Oh, right. So they're on the side of like, sure, you should be able to sue.
They also get their piece because of the trial. Like these
Court costs.
Court costs, everything has to get factored in. I don't know exactly how it works in Canada, but if it was in the United States,
Mike Ward is in serious. He's out a lot of money in his own lawyer fees because he's fighting it he has cash. He's like a well-known French Canadian comic. So he has this whole like French Canadian tour he can do.
And which one was he? What is Mike Ward is the one with
what
you were talking about it earlier.
But that kid who had some disease was supposed to die.
That's right. Okay, that's right. And he made a joke about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a bit he had. But like he's got to pay all his legal fees and try to win this, and he could pay the $80,000 that they're suing him for, but he's like, then it sets such a terrible precedent. Yeah. So he's just in his own battle on free speech, saying I don't want to lose this for what it means.
It's fucked. I mean, it's people like fuck him. Shouldn't have said that joke.
That's bullshit. Of course he should have. He got laughs, a bunch of laughs. He said it enough times where it was a winning bit in his act.
Yeah, and you can't decide that. You can't take. Well, obviously they can, but you shouldn't be able to take money away from people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you might want to say you don't want to ever go to one of his shows again.
Yeah, there
You're
you go. That's what you should do.
That's
I
let the
hate
market
that.
decide.
I'm not going to Chick-fil-A. The guy supports, anti-gay stuff. Okay, there you go. That's how you speak with your own dollar.
Exactly. Let the market decide.
Yeah.
I think that's the appropriate way to handle it.
I see fucking directors. That guy, who did Pan's Labyrinth?
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, he's garbage now.
How dare you?
So then it's like once you realize that, then it's like
done with Ari Shaffir?
he used to be cool, but now it's like fucking awful, and it's just fucking he's gone sour. So then it's like I just won't watch him anymore. But of course, go make whatever you want to make.
Well, I wouldn't say he went sour. I still like his stuff.
You like The Hobbit that he wrote? Did you like that last movie?
You didn't like it?
The last movie?
You didn't like it?
It looked like it was an acting class thing.
Was it?
It was just like there was no acting.
How high were you?
The cabin thing.
Or who was higher? You think you or me when we went to see it?
I mean, I was probably pretty high. But God, it was such terrible acting and no plot and just like, wait, I'll show you some special effects in a little.
Did you yell out?
No,
Bullshit.
but I did leave.
Did you?
I left quietly.
Wow.
Me and the girl I was with, eventually we were like, it was like we both realized we've been both wanting to leave for about 25 minutes. And then it was like, yeah, let's just go.
Maybe
Why are
we
we
just
prisoners
horny.
here?
Maybe you just want to get your freak on.
You like that movie, that new movie you made?
Loved it.
Did you really? Dude, you have, I can't. I'm not even going to bring up the American Sniper because I'm afraid of what you're going to say. But
no, but let's bring that up. Because I saw it.
So tell me you didn't like it.
It wasn't a good movie.
It wasn't a good movie.
It wasn't a good movie. This is the thing. The
No character development.
Exactly.
I never got to like him. So now he's having trouble sniping. Suddenly it's good again. Why is this scene in there?
The subject matter is highly charged and very, very sensitive to people. So anything that's thought of in disrespect of Chris Kyle, people automatically get up in arms for. I completely understand.
They start talking about his book, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't read any of that. I saw this fucking awful movie.
I completely understand people's position in respecting him as a guy who kept people safe over there. I understand where they're coming from.
Okay, but why is he on the phone with his wife half the movie when he's in battle?
It's very angry. What I was going to say is it's just not well done.
No, it's not well done.
It's not. It's just not that well done. I mean, this is my opinion. I just felt like it was flat. And this is like, here's a good comparison. I hate to beat a dead horse, but Ex Machina. You watch Ex Machina and watch that movie, and there's a way that it's shot. There's a way the story's told.
Yeah.
Like, that story is a very compelling story.
Yeah.
It's kind of a crazy story.
Black Hawk Down was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa, gripping and fucking...
Yes, exactly.
Exciting.
And the Chris Kyle story, would have been fucking really
Saving Private
fascinating.
Ryan was great.
How about tell like the truth about Chris Kyle's life, like in towards the end where he was involved in that Jesse Ventura thing, which is really kind of crazy, where he's making up a story about a fight with Jesse Ventura that never happened.
Yeah.
So Jesse Ventura sued him and won, and then after he won, he got Chris Kyle got killed, and Jesse Ventura got all these death threats because he wanted to continue with the case.
You sued a hero. It's like, well, he wasn't that much of a hero before he died. He was just some guy who's lying about me.
Well, I think you can be both.
Yeah, sure.
This is where things get really confusing.
Michael Jackson raped boys.
I don't think he did. I think he just jerked off in front of him and shit.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
If he was raping him, I just feel like that would have got out.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think he was just doing shit
I bet it was weird cuddle
to...
parties and like maybe stroking them, but not
definitely some inappropriate
orgasm.
boners.
Yeah.
If he could get one, he got one. I mean, during that time period.
It's not my fault. I'm turned on.
I mean, he's got to find time to jerk off unless he's only jerking off in the shower.
It's not like I'm touching it.
These
Just boner
kids
happens.
they're over the house all the time, and they're sitting in his lap, and there's blood there, sensitive tissue.
Look how they're
Gets
playing the video
excited.
games with their asses in the air.
It's not his fault.
That's not my fault. I didn't
How is
tell
it
him to
his
sit like
fault?
that.
He didn't. I mean, it's just love.
It's
Why is
Super
everyone
Mario
so,
Kart.
Everyone's so sensitive. It's just love. God, the world could just be beautiful together.
Super Mario Kart, but listen to Beat It.
Exactly.
Remember that? Oh, yeah, good times. I'm going in the room with Macaulay.
Anyway, whatever. I don't know how we got on that. How did we get on that?
Oh, I just went with it. We were talking about somebody
Oh
else
yeah,
before
Chris
that.
Kyle. You can be two things at once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can be two things at once. It doesn't mean he wasn't a hero.
You could be an artist
to those
and a
people that he
douche.
saved. Yeah, well, think about what he did. All right,
He was a
Saved-
great sniper.
Right,
I guess.
He saved American citizens that were over there fighting in the war against other people that were fighting against American citizens.
The way they
draw
ha-
your hold on a second. Draw your conclusion about who's right or who's wrong.
Yeah.
Get that out of your head. And he was trying to protect his friends, right? So whether or not you think that he should be on this team or that team or this team's bad and that team's good, put all that aside. He kept a bunch of people alive. Those people came back. Whether or not you think they should come back, whether or not you think they should ever have been in there in the first place, he definitely helped countless. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably
But if this movie is about the French sniper or about a sniper in a world that doesn't exist, you
it's
wouldn't
just not
like
a good
the
movie. Yeah, it's not a good movie.
The
This is
longest
just what I
shot he ever
thought.
took was like 2,000 yards. I don't remember the numbers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then he heard so-and-so, Mustafa, was getting shots that long. He's like, it's possible, I've shot that, but that's the longest I've ever shot. And then when he shoots him at the end, it's twice as far as the longest shot he's ever heard of. He can't even see the guy. You just see a blur, and he goes, I know it's him. It must be. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
And then he goes, yup, got him. You can't even see him.
How
How do you know
see
you
that
made
far?
the twice as long as any shot that's ever been recorded without being able to see it? You just know you made it?
Yeah, you need a spotting scope for 200 yards. People look at a target that's 200 yards away.
It was
you look down at the
garbage.
spotting scope to see where you're hitting on the target. Because, it's not that good to see out of the scope. Like, a rifle fucking scope from 200 yards, which is nothing. It's only 2 football fields.
It was just
But
bad.
here's the question, though.
What?
Is it also a factor of you're telling a real person's story with as little variation from the truth as possible over an acceptable period of time, a 2-hour movie or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It's fucking hard to do.
Sure, but they didn't do a good job of it.
They did a terrible job of it. But it would have been incredibly difficult to do even if they did a great job of it.
And let's just back up a second. Best actor?
Yeah, that's not real.
I mean, come on. He
That's
looked
not
like
real.
you could tell when he
No.
was doing lines.
He had a rubber baby, and I knew
Well,
the
yeah,
baby
forget
was
the rubber baby, obviously.
But he's
That
moving
was-
the rubber baby with his finger.
With his
and
thumb, like-
you can go fuck yourself. Okay, I'm not a kid. What am you doing, a magic trick that I can see? Hey, watch, I'm going to stick this thing to my hand. You're shoving it in your wrist at the same
Yeah.
time.
Look, my thumb's coming
It's
apart.
bulging in your shirt with the fucking hanky still sticking out a
Oh.
little bit.
God.
Come
I
on,
mean,
it's-
even
it's not good.
the beginning when he finds his girlfriend in bed with another guy
Yeah.
and throws her out and they're having that talk and he's drinking
Come
a beer.
on.
It's like, dude,
Come
this
on.
is like
You're not even
acting-
a real person.
This is acting class.
Yeah.
I can see you doing lines.
He's not a real person. He's behaving in this incredible exemplary way like a hero.
He's in practice.
He's a beautiful hero. He's
Yeah.
a perfect hero, and we can't believe he's gone. I mean, that's what he is. He's a hero. He's
When
not,
they showed
he's not
9/11
a real
and
guy
they're watching
drunk having a
9/11
fight with his girl.
and he stands up and they're like, you can just tell that the director's in the back going, feel it more. No, feel it more.
Yeah.
Let this hit you. You love America. This is happening to you. Feel it more.
What's the problem whenever you try to dramatize anything? You know
Yeah.
that movie Foxcatcher is a clusterfuck of lies. Do you know
Really?
that movie that's based on Mark Schultz and David Schultz?
Sort of.
Olympic wrestlers. They were very famous American Olympic champion wrestlers.
Yeah.
They were both beasts. And there was this crazy guy named John DuPont. And John DuPont had a lot of money. It's like the DuPont name.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a crazy man. And he wanted to wrestle. So he hired all these guys and built
teach
them
him
this
wrestling?
incredible world-class training facility and paid them. And these guys were struggling wrestlers. They went down there. And one of the guys, Dave, wound up getting murdered by DuPont. And it was this crazy story. And Steve Carell played him in the movie. But the movie, although it was a good movie, the reality
Was way off.
Way off. Like they changed the timeline of the UFC. They had the UFC existing like way before it did.
I'm less concerned with that than if it's a movie. Then unless they say it's like a actual biography.
Yeah, but
You know,
they have-
I'm less concerned with that than if like in Narcos, I'm like, yeah, some of this is based on truth, some of this just like they didn't know the relationship between this guy and this girl.
Yeah, but they didn't have to fake the. That's like a historic date.
Why did they fake it?
Because they're idiots.
What benefit did this plot?
It's
get?
somebody thinks they're smarter than everyone who's going to know the truth, which is the dumbest thing to think. You should never think, if you're going to talk about a subject like the UFC, which to a person like you, I know you're a fan, and definitely to a person like
People
me,
know when it starts.
it's offensive as fuck when you try to pretend it started at a different date. Then when you watch on television, watch Big Daddy Goodrich fight, but then when he fights in the movie, he fights some white Russian guy. Bullshit. He fought Big Daddy Goodrich. Mark Schultz fought Big Daddy Goodrich. I watched it. He beat his ass. He took him down at will. And I remember watching it going, Jesus Christ, this is what happens when you get elite Olympic gold
Wrestlers.
medalist, world champion wrestlers. Like, I was thinking to myself, who the fuck is going to keep that guy off of him?
Right.
That guy could have been a world champion for sure. Nobody would
But he
have been able to
predated
stop
the UFC?
it. No, he was in the UFC. He fought Big Daddy Goodrich in the UFC, but there was no money back then. And he had a gig with, he was teaching wrestling at a college. And,
Not paid more.
well, it was coach. He's a wrestling coach, like a university gig. I mean, he's a really respected wrestler. And they didn't want him cage fighting. So they told him, like, this is it. Like, you have to make a decision. So he had to go with the obvious job. Because
Right.
there was no money in the UFC back then. It's fucking really dangerous, but they changed it in the
yeah, I
movie.
remember those days.
In the movie, they had him fighting in some unknown organization. It wasn't the UFC, and the guy was a white Russian guy who was fighting. Like, why
Well,
would
now
you
hold
change
on. Let me
that?
ask you a question. Could this be the reason they changed it? Because what the UFC means right now is like this massive thing. So they go, well, viewers, if they saw this, they'd be like, yeah, UFC, that's really big. How could I give up UFC? Where you're like, no, you need to be in the place back then of this was just a rogue thing. People just did it like to mix. You know what I mean?
I see what
like
you're
when they
saying.
have cursing in Deadwood, it's like, yeah, they didn't have that then, but
Did
you're not
they?
going to understand the cursing they actually had.
Did they have cursing back then?
They had like rapscallion and shit.
Whoa.
And so
How's
it
that
like
work?
wouldn't hit as hard as it hit back
you
then.
rapscallion.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they had to change the reality to make it the feeling of the reality.
Could you imagine if you were doing a comedy show in the Wild West and someone tried to heckle you? What kind of fucking damage you could
broke
do
out?
to that guy? What kind of damage you could do to him
Oh,
verbally?
with the cursing I have now?
Yeah. Rapscallion.
You're a cunt.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch.
Whoa. You're angry.
Get out of here, fuck boy.
You're angry, and it's not even a real person we're talking
I'm thinking about it.
God, you're all worked up, man.
Fucking pea shooter motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
Beat it. Rusty stirrup cunt.
And then he brings you in front of the tribunal, and you have to give up 3 pieces of gold. You're
Chicken.
fucked up. 3 pieces of gold. Gold, Shaffir. What is going to happen, man? Are we going to go Bitcoin, you think? I got to get Antonopoulos back on. It's been a while.
I don't know.
He'll probably
What's-
tell me again. I'll believe him again. By the time I come back here in 2 years.
I don't know how to spend Bitcoin.
How to spin it?
Spend it.
Spend it? That's a problem if you don't know how to spend your money. You should probably look into it. But if you don't have this ancient fucking phone, you have to be plugged into your laptop with some sort of Ethernet cable, don't you? You got some 1970s laptop too, don't you, you fuck?
Oh, I have
Come
a
on.
MacBook Pro.
That doesn't even have a USB port, does it? Which one doesn't have a USB port?
No, they do.
Dude, they have one that doesn't.
Don't have CD drives anymore.
No,
I have
one
the
of them
last one with
doesn't even
CD
have a
drives.
USB port. There's a real skinny one.
Oh, the Air.
No, it's not even the
No.
Air. It's the like.
I don't
It's
know.
not the Air. Google that shit, son.
iPad-
One of them.
iPads don't have them. I know that.
Yeah, iPads don't have them.
USB ports? Which one's USB port?
USB is where you would plug things in. You know, like if you were trying to sync your phone up to it or something.
Oh,
like
right,
that.
right,
You'd
that
plug
one.
your
Okay,
phone
yeah.
in by USB, or
yeah, yeah.
if you want to save something on a drive.
Oh, they didn't have the USB port? How do
Don't
you
even have
charge
a
your
USB
shit?
port. No, it has a little battery thing that sticks.
No, I mean, how to charge your phone.
You don't. You don't with your fucking laptop. Maybe it can't handle it. Maybe it can't handle the power draw because it's so thin. Like it only exists like as something that you can store things in the cloud.
Yeah.
Which is where they're trying to sneak you. They're trying to bring you. Bless you. Do you still accept bless you even though you're not religious anymore? Or did I just defend your sensibility? Did I trigger you in any
You
way?
hurt me. You hurt me, and I don't. It's not.
What's your
inclusive.
correct gender pronouns for today?
I am he today.
He?
I'm going by he.
He. I go by he every day. I'm going to try Z out for a while.
Z.
Z-H-E-E. That's a
What
new
is
one.
that? Is that a new one?
Gender neutral.
G.
Gender neutral.
Oh, it's kind of like she, he.
You can be whoever you want. Z-H-E-E.
I'm just Ari.
Oh.
Why does it have to be my gender?
Exactly. Why do you have to say Mr.? What are we, formal? Huh? Am I fucking
I
checking
love
into
that
a hotel?
misappropriation of words are using. It's like no one has to say that. That's just what they've been saying.
I think you need to be able to control what people say.
I love when people like shit on some sort of stand-up and they go, oh, what is that all you can talk about? It's like, that's not all they can talk about. That's one little sentence in this whole bit that's part of a whole special. It's clearly not all they can talk about.
Yeah, but if I'm going to make fun of it, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this is all you can talk about, bro?
You like Drag Me to Hell too, huh?
Loved it.
Oh, me and Red Band went to see Up, and we were so happy. And Rogan and Segura were like, "You fucked up. Should have seen Drag Me to Hell." And I finally saw it. I'm like, this movie couldn't even make up its mind whether it's a comedy
it's
or
amazing.
horror.
Perfect. You weren't high enough, and you didn't go see it with me. Come to see it. You, me, and Duncan would see Drag Me to Hell. We would love it. Love it. We would have the best time.
Did you ever see Up?
Yes.
Cartoon?
Yeah. I liked Up. Up was good.
That's good.
It was interesting, but it was sad.
It was sad. Those first 10 minutes are beautiful.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You saw what won Best Comedy last night at the Golden Globes?
No.
The Martian.
Oh, yeah. How did that work?
The Martian won Best Comedy?
How does that
idea.
work? How does The Martian win Best Comedy?
It's a comedy or musical category, and I don't know how it gets.
Why are they still doing
involved.
comedy or musical? That's so
Listen.
offensive to both comedy and musical.
That's not a comedy, and it's not a musical. Listen, award shows are stupid.
Just call it other.
They're stupid. Award shows
Wait,
are
how did
stupid.
The Martian win Best Comedy?
They're stupid.
Oh,
It's
because he made some. He kept it lighthearted sometimes.
Why
He's
does
trying to be
why
pleasant.
is one the best? What you
Yeah.
know, one like we've already established right here between you and I
Yeah.
the shit I love
Yeah.
that you hate.
Yeah, yeah.
But I genuinely love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like I walked out of there going, yes, they fucking did it. I walked out of there like they nailed it. They upgraded the original movie and made it fit in today, and they did it with great acting and a great storyline. It was perfect. It was very Star Wars-esque. You
Yeah.
fucking hated it. See?
I didn't hate it, but it's just like I thought it was like a B.
Okay, let's pick.
B's good. It was a fun movie.
Tell me some other movies that you've seen recently. So Star Wars. What have let's compare.
Hateful Eight. No way you saw
I
that.
haven't seen that. I would see that though.
Mad Max.
How dare you say
Mad
no
Max.
way. I enjoyed Mad Max.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was really good.
Fun chase movie.
Fun. Yeah, craziness.
absolutely.
You know, Eddie Bravo.
None of those
fucking hated it.
Really?
He hated it.
There were none
Eddie
of those
Bravo
points.
hated it.
There was none of those points where I'm like, this wouldn't exist in that world they set up. I'm like, that wouldn't happen.
Right.
In Star Wars, the world they set up, it's like, why does she suddenly have Jedi
Force.
powers with no training?
Well, because there's a thing called editing. There's probably a bunch of scenes that were on the cutting room floor that explain her
No
powers.
spoiler alert at this point in Star Wars. Everyone's
No,
seen it.
You should really say spoiler alert first. You really fucked up.
Trigger.
But we're already open.
She just
We
got it a
spoiler
little too
alerted.
fast. And then it's like, well, no, she was the chosen one. It's like, oh, like Luke Skywalker?
She was
who
a
had to
Luke
study for a
Skywalker.
month with a fucking Yoda to get any of his powers?
Well, chicks learn quicker.
And they have. No, chicks
Plus
don't learn
she's hot.
quicker in their world. And they have that if you don't get it from as a kid, you're never going to get it.
Well, there's a thing called morphic resonance, and they think that like as people learn things, it becomes easier for other people to learn things. We all learn together.
But she beat up. I can understand her
later.
beating up a stormtrooper with it.
When
But
you
she's
catch
beating up
the
someone
Force-
who's been studying with the head guy.
Yeah.
She had a guy who's been studying under the main Gracie.
Right.
And she was like, I just sort of get jujitsu, and I think I can beat
does
this guy who's
happen.
been studying under the main Gracie.
BJ Penn won the world championships 3 years in. Weird shit happens, man.
He
Weird
was
shit
training,
happens.
though. He wasn't just like,
Yeah, but
I heard of jits.
You know what? You don't realize that she was using the Force, but she was probably using it all along.
It was a fun movie. You saw first week, right?
What's first week?
Did you first see the first week or two it was out?
Oh yeah, I saw
See,
it
at that
first
point,
week.
it was the same as the other movie when it
awesome.
came out, episode 1, where everyone's like, me too, we're like, fuck yes. This was way better than those, but it was like not as good as people were remembering.
How dare you?
Were you in a theater when they clapped when they saw the Millennium Falcon?
I clapped.
Yeah, all right.
almost
That was a
cried.
brainwash week.
I almost cried.
I know. Oh, I hope they do that other thing that they've already done in the
When Han
episode
Solo
4.
showed up, my heart filled with joy.
Oh, I like that. That was fun. That was fun. I like that a lot. That was great with Chewie. Like we're home. Like fuck
Dude.
yes. I like that a lot.
They fucked up in that regard, right?
What?
Spoiler alert.
No, there's no spoiler alerts anymore.
Shh, didn't you
They
say
had
it?
their chance. It's
I'm
been a
not
month.
saying
It's
it.
been a month.
Don't say it. What if people like fast forwarded and they get to the part where we say Han Solo got killed?
Dude, there is a guy that I saw a picture of, and somebody's, you know, those things you can put in the back of your truck, like
Yeah.
the Smith family.
Right.
But Han Solo dies in
Oh
the
my
Force
God.
Awakens.
How rude.
In the Star Wars
That's
font.
so rude. That's really rude.
Just driving around.
Spoiler alert.
It's big spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Fucking awesome movie.
I'm done
though.
with these spoiler alerts. You have a chance right then to get on it, or you're
Well,
done.
I already knew. I already knew going in to see the movie.
But
It had already
potheads
been
can
spoiled.
compartmentalize and forget.
It had already been spoiled for me, but I still enjoyed the fuck
You
out
knew
of
he was
it.
going out there to die.
I knew he was going to die
When he
anyway.
walked out on that platform, it's like, what do
Yeah.
you do? Obviously, you're gonna.
Shoot him.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you shoot your stupid fucking son? Late-term abortion, son. Ready to come up. Worst case scenario, you're one of the coolest guys of all time, loved by millions, and your son just turned out to be evil, went to the dark side.
It happens.
Oh, by the way, you had a son with Princess Leia. So you got to fuck Princess Leia. You know what you think? A match made in heaven.
He's a Moonanite.
Super heroic swashbuckler with a giant Bigfoot by his side,
Dude.
and the hot princess, and they get together and fuck, and they make an evil baby that winds up killing daddy.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit. How much did it make you laugh when that guy finally took off his Adam Driver, finally took off his helmet, and you're like, what? There's a beautiful Semitic man
Yeah, he looked like
behind
a
that
magician.
mask?
He looked like an awesome magician.
Oh my God.
He had great hair.
There was giggling where it's like, what?
I like how you describe him as a
cast that guy?
Semitic man.
He's gorgeous, and there's no way those are his parents. He's a gorgeous Jew.
Wow. Ari's hot for that guy. What's his name? Kylo Ren? Is that his name?
Kylo
Jamie
Ren.
knows.
That
I
was
just
dumb.
testing you, Jamie.
Jamie, back me up on
Fucking-
that. That was ridiculous. When he pulls off his helmet, you're like, ooh,
Oh,
who's this evil
why
guy?
would Jamie back you up? I'm right here, bro. I'm not leaving you alone.
You didn't think that was dumb?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's perfect hair. How does your hair stay perfect under that? Why isn't it sweaty?
There'd be no hat hair.
Why don't you have hat hair?
It's a full helmet.
You have a beautiful head of hair as soon as you pull it off. It's like you just got out of a blowout. He got his hair all blown out. Like he's on a set, you know? He pulls this sweaty fucking metal helmet off. Do you know how much you'd be sweating in that stupid thing while you're out killing people?
Yeah.
I mean, he's killing people. He's running around. He's grabbing them and crushing them. He's hacking things up with his fucking sword. Remember that?
Yeah. I did like how they made
Beautiful
Jesus
hair.
Christ, man.
It's beautiful, man.
That's that Princess Leia and fucking
If that guy
what's
acts
his
like,
name? What's that guy's name? Who's the actor? Harrison Ford did not give birth to that.
Listen, if that guy acts like a dick to girls and just bangs them and never calls them back, it's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault.
Look at him. Mm-hmm. He's got powers. He's got superpowers. The Force is strong with him. Like, for real. Like, the Force to bang chicks. It's very strong. He might abuse it. He could get away from him.
Driver, can
Might
you
go to
make
the
your lips
dark
more
side.
pouty before we do this take?
Yeah, he's beautiful. It's a ridiculous movie. But I loved it.
I do like the theories of like there'd be stormtroopers who be like, wait, I'm not feeling this. I like the way they handle it. It's like
Yeah.
we keep checks on them all the time. This one, I don't know how this one got through.
Isn't it interesting that the first stormtrooper we see without a helmet's a black guy?
Quitter, you're saying?
The fuck? The first stormtrooper. No, the first quitter. But, like, they didn't concentrate on stormtroopers.
Did we see
in
any
the
other
older ones.
stormtroopers without helmets?
Maybe, but nobody paid attention to them.
Were
The
there
first
any?
one they pay attention to is a black guy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Diversity.
Diversity. I don't have
Woman
the
star.
problem with diversity
Hey,
there.
look, that is a case. I think Star Wars is a case where you can make the argument that even though they might have gone towards diversity,
Yeah.
they nailed it.
Oh,
like
no,
the
they-
woman's a perfect fucking superhero,
Absolutely.
and the man who's a stormtrooper
There
is
was
a
no
great
part of
actor
me that's
too.
like, this doesn't seem
Legit.
like the right race, or this doesn't seem like the right gender. Both of them seem totally fine, just
I was
actors.
honestly hoping that the fighter pilot and the stormtrooper had a gay affair because it seemed like they were really close.
Oh.
Like the way they
Poe.
hugged.
Poe Lazarus?
Yeah, the way they hugged. They had like a deep embrace.
Oh, how you been, man?
It's a deep embrace. They were so happy to see each other.
So happy.
It was a lot like when that movie, what is the cowboy movie when they go gay? When they,
Yeah.
what is
Brokeback
it?
Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. It's almost like when those two hadn't seen each other for a while.
And they just start
They
making
just
out.
got together and they just dove into each other's arms and went after it.
Passionate.
Yeah, I mean, they lived through life and death out there with laser beams and shit. People shooting at them. They survived. They crash landed together. There's a bond with people. They say that when people form relationships after traumatic events, like if you met someone during 9/11 and like you grabbed her, come with me, and you grabbed her hand and you ran and you guys both barely got out of the building and the building collapsed and you got in a car and got away together and then she's crying and she stays in your apartment, you wind up falling in love, your fucking relationship will be super intense because it's always going to be connected to this one like really powerful event. Like Christy Brinkley apparently had a situation like that where she was in a helicopter crash with this dude and then wound up marrying the dude and then it fucking fell apart, got crazy.
Doesn't
But,
mean you could live with him.
you just feel like we're together, baby. We're supposed to survive this together. And the bond that you have because you sort of imprint on this moment.
Yeah.
Like you ever go somewhere where like you had a really bad time and you're around that area, even if it's 10 years later, you're like,
Still feel shitty about it?
yeah, I remember this fucking place.
Yeah, deep emotional connection with somebody. It's like,
Yeah. I have emotional connections with clubs where I bombed. Like I'll go by, like if I went by some places in Boston, I'd be like, ooh, I remember eating dick up there.
yeah.
Ugh.
You
It
don't want
makes
to
me-
eat there.
and
It's a
that's
restaurant
nothing.
now. You're like, I can't eat here.
Yeah, that's nothing. Like people can develop some serious emotional connections to areas.
They
like,
had that Tom Cruise movie that was actually good that nobody saw.
oh, was that good?
Oh, yeah. Where he kept going back in time.
Oh, wait a minute.
fight.
Oh,
Edge of
that was
Tomorrow.
really good.
Really good.
That
But
was
I think everyone
really
already
good.
given up on him from the last one. But that was good, and they handled everything right. Like, well,
Yeah.
if that was happened, this would happen. And you're like, oh, there it is. It is. But he had that girl that he kept trying to fall in love with, and he figured out, oh, if we get to this stage in yesterday, we will fall in love.
Yeah.
And let's just stay here and stay in love as
Right.
long as possible.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like.
I ain't never gonna beat these
Like
guys.
it to work out like that. Those aliens were cool though.
They
were
were
really
cool.
original.
The robot aliens.
Yeah, they were weird, sort of mechanical, transforming alien things that just like they were awesome because they were so creative. Like I'd never seen anything that I go, oh, that's like this.
Yeah, they drop them like cannonballs, and as soon as they hit the ground, they're just like these squids.
Yeah, like maybe the coolest aliens in a movie ever.
And then these people are shooting at them, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys are done. You have no chance.
Yeah, they morphed and changed. Maybe pull a video up so you could see what that scene was like because it's cool to see the. That looks like an illustration too.
Kevin
Like that's like a
Jenkins.
Frank Frazetta looking thing. Do you know who Frank Frazetta is?
No.
Heathen. You know nothing.
Who is he? Costumer?
This is an amazing artist who used to do Conan the Barbarian.
Really?
Yeah, pull up before we go to this. Pull up Frank Frazetta Conan. Just school this sad man. Frank Frazetta Conan. Wait do you see this image, motherfucker? This guy was the shit in like the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Go with the one right next to it to the left of that. That's the classic one. Go full screen on that. That's a classic painting.
Whoa, that's a real barbarian.
Dude, that's Conan the Barbarian. That's what got me into those
With
books.
a girl, a naked woman at his feet, standing on top of it. Jesus.
Yeah,
With the
standing on
sword
top of blood and bones and meat.
Bone
and he's got a
mountain.
hot girl, doesn't give a fuck. She's lying on the blood while he's got a sword
I
embedded
just want to hold
into
on
it.
to your
And
shins.
He's covered in scars, too. He's got scars all over his face, all over his arms. That was what got me into Conan. These images by Frank Frazetta, because they created this Superman, this Sumerian barbarian.
He loves having girls at his
Of course he does. That's the only reason why to fight with a sword, son. Why else if you're not going to get pussy? They understood it back then. Let's go to this one right now. Sexist. Go a little
On the
bit to the right.
right. We both know the same.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Bam.
yeah.
Sexism.
She's leading forward.
Full alive. He came in her 34 times. That's why
She
her
got a
stomach
belly?
sticks out.
It's,
No, that's cum. It's bulging. She's got her vagina is so full of cum. It's like pushing forward on her abdominal wall. That can cause hernias. That
Having that much cum in you?
shooting lows in her and killing people. Look, that was back before they even knew what six packs were, and he had a six pack. No one had a six pack in the 70s. That guy, they had perfect bodies. They were bigger than any bodybuilders
That's pretty
at
cool.
the time.
Pretty cool paintings.
Well, when Conan was played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody that's what everybody recognizes, you know.
What?
But
Yeah,
the Arnold but the character in the Frazetta drawings was much more.
So it was a
closer-
comic strip before?
No. It was a book, a series of books by a guy named Robert E. Howard. And Robert E. Howard is this really fascinating guy. They did a movie about him, and the dude from
Look at that.
one of those
Go left
cop
more.
shows.
Yeah.
The guy from, you know the dude from Full Metal Jacket? Amazing actor from Full Metal Jacket who played the guy who shot himself. The guy who get bullied and
Yeah,
he goes
he's good in
crazy.
everything.
He's amazing. What is his fucking
What?
name? Vincent
Vincent
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Thank you. Sorry, Vincent. He's amazing. He's an amazing actor. What was I going to say? He's in it?
He's in it.
What the fuck were we just talking about?
Conan.
Yeah.
Conan.
No, he plays Robert E. Howard. That's what it is.
Oh.
He plays Robert E. Howard in a biography on Robert E. Howard's life in a movie. And I didn't see the movie, but Robert E. Howard was supposed to be this like really strange guy who lived with his mom, and he shot himself, I think, when he was like 36.
Yeah.
So he had this like, is that it? The whole wide world? He had, some serious mental issues for sure, but he
Nate
also
Zellweger.
he wasn't healthy, and so he had imagined this Superman, this Ubermensch, who was destroying people back in this fictitious world that he created that supposedly was a long time ago, but who knows? It was like these countries that never existed, and they were doing battle, and there's witchcraft and demons and monsters, and then there was this barbarian usurper, this king, who became a king by, killing everything in his path. He was like this indestructible man. That's Conan the Barbarian. And so Robert E. Howard sort of created this guy who's the antithesis of what he was. He was this frail guy who lived with his mom. He's a pussy, and he wrote with this longing about this guy who just this lust for adventure. Killed everything, always survived. He was just this Uberman, like the greatest of all time. This giant man who moved like a panther, who like had a mind of like a steel trap. He would never show weakness. He always was ready to die, but never did. So he wrote all these really badass books. They were really wild. As like probably now, if I read them, I'd be like, "What am I reading?" But when I was 11, they were the shit.
Really? Did you get the sex stuff?
Sort of. I kind of get. It wasn't like he put his hard cock in her cunt. It wasn't like that kind of stuff. It was like romantic. Like it was more about like cleaving heads and the gore of him being covered with gore and bits of sinew cover the glistening blade as he slices through the attackers.
Cool.
And then they realized like how they had fucked up and tried to do battle with Conan, and everybody died. Everybody died but Conan. But it was just this, for a 12-year-old kid or whatever the fuck I was when I guess I was probably like that age when I got into it. It was amazing. It was like, whoa, because you're a boy. Like, first of all, no one's gonna let you see that. You're like a 12-year-old boy. They don't show it in movies. They cut away from it. Yet. Yeah, you don't really. Even like today, they do. Like today, if you watched a recent Barbarian movie, like there was.
They would show.
Did you see Jason Momoa? Have you seen him play Conan?
No.
He's the guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, the real tall one?
Yeah, the really built, handsome guy that dies early. This dude. That dude is a cool motherfucker. I ran into him recently at Whole Foods. He couldn't be cooler. I've ran into him at the UFC before, too. He's just a really nice, really friendly guy who you want to hate him because he's a little too beautiful.
Yeah.
A little too beautiful, a little too tall. But he was my favorite all-time Conan because that's what Conan is supposed to be built like.
Maybe he do it on TV show?
No, he did a movie. It was
really?
It was a kind of a shit movie, unfortunately. But it's cool to watch anyway. I enjoyed it. But
that's him as Conan?
Yeah, he's a good size for Conan. Like that would be like what Conan would be built like.
Yeah, you'd have a chance to win like every one of your hand-to-hand combat battles.
Yeah, he wouldn't be built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you look at the Frazetta drawings, like go to like the Frazetta one with the sword again, the classic one. It's a little bit over there, right there, bang. So like the real Conan's like a little more built than him, but that's probably because Homeboy's on the natch. Jason Momoa that's actually what he's really built like. Whereas Schwarzenegger was filled with 32 pounds of Mexican supplements at any given time. When he played Conan, nobody's built like that. When he was Conan, he had the most ridiculous fucking body.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
He was like number one in the world at like body, right?
Well, he's slimmed down though. He slimmed down towards the other ones. Like you can kind of tell the difference between that one and the other one that you just.
God, those muscles are huge.
He's so big. And by the way, that's small, like right there. Like that's very slim in comparison. Like that's a guy who's slimming down. Like that guy's built like Tyron Woodley or something like that.
The body of the drawings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perfect actually. That must have been in one of the later movies. So I think like he went from being the bigger bodybuilder.
It looks
to
so weird to see
smaller.
him with that fucking chest and the sword and a backwards baseball cap on.
That's not a backwards baseball hat.
Right.
There's like a little helmet on. Where's?
Go back up.
Does he really have one?
Yeah.
Backwards. That almost looks like it, but it's a bandana. It could be He could be like a hillbilly with a sword who's really yoked.
Really yoked. Hillbilly.
Because even when he slimmed down, he was still massive. Even when he like got smaller. But if you go back to his bodybuilding days, when he was Mr. Olympia, holy shit. He, in my opinion, out of all like the bodybuilder styles, like there's a bunch of different styles. Like now guys are just massive and shredded.
Like that guy?
Yeah. Well, that guy is, the guy on the left is, the fuck's his name? Multiple time Mr. Olympia. What the hell's his name?
Those legs. Ew, gross.
What is his name? God damn it, Jamie. What does it say? Ronnie Coleman. So that's not real. Ronnie Coleman was many years later, right?
2002.
So that's just a comparison to the two of them? Oh, I see. Okay.
1975 to 2002.
See, if you lift it up, go back up again. Go back to that image again, please.
That's really
he looks
him?
amazing there, yeah. But if you go back to that image, the one, look at the difference in the legs. That's the real difference. Ronnie
Coleman's
Coleman,
legs are massive.
they're insane. They don't seem real. See, Arnold's seem ridiculously muscular as well, but real.
How does he wear shirts?
Ronnie Coleman?
Either of them. Their waists are narrow.
Why would you wear clothes if you're built like that? Just walk around those little grape smugglers all day. Just let everybody know what the fuck is up. He can't stay like that for very long either. That's the other thing you have to realize. When you're looking at these athletes, should I call them athletes? Bodybuilders.
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit different than an athlete. I mean, it's obviously...
Oh, wait, their muscles get
physical
tired and they
event.
can't...
Well, yeah, they're in a state of massive dehydration there. They can't maintain that very long. It's super dangerous. When guys get that dehydrated like that, they can't hang on for very long. They don't have much endurance. You know, you feel like really tired all the time. But that's how you get your skin really thin. Like a lot of those guys, when they do that, they're fucking exhausted while they're doing it. But they maintain a good face and flex.
Oh.
Just crazy what people do to their bodies. Like even then, like you look at that, which is big, giant, but the guys are so much bigger today. Like you see them there.
It's that muscle. What is that? The lat or something? Trap?
Now, who's the guy to the left? Is that Franco Colombo?
Some guy's about to lose. That's what it is. Some guy who thought he had a future.
Well, there's a lot of those guys that did have a future. They just never had a future like him. But he's just that crazy, ambitious motherfucker, you know?
Ever heard Burr's bit about him?
No, Burr has a bit about... Oh, yeah, a great man. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's when after he banged his maid. Yeah. No.
He can do all these things. They tell him, you can't come to America and be a bodybuilder. You're just some German. You came? You're going to win? You won?
Yeah.
You're the biggest bodybuilder? Well, you can't. What, you want to be a movie star? No, you can't be a movie star. Come on. You just were a bodybuilder. You can't do. You did it? All right, that's enough. You've done enough. What, you're the biggest movie star in the world? All right, well, that's it. No, you stop. You can't run California. That's not allowed. You're a movie star bodybuilder. You're not allowed to run California. You're doing it?
I bet...
Oh, now you want to fuck a maid? Of course. Oh, that's the line? That's what brought him down?
Yeah. A great man.
A great man.
I think if they didn't have law against it, a law against it, because he was born in another country,
he could be president.
He
would
could be
have been
president.
then.
I think he could be president now.
No, not now.
Bullshit.
He's too far removed from his fame.
He'll find a new woman. A new woman that really anchors him.
Other than
a woman
Maria
who's
Sharapova?
she's religious. I mean, she's not like crazy about it, but there's something about Jesus' teachings that's really starting to appeal to Arnold as he gets older in life. And then boom, connects with that Republican
You would have to
base.
get Jesus. You'd have to get Jesus real popular.
Yeah, but dude,
so they can
Jesus
trust you.
forgives. You could get Jesus. Dude, just listen. Jesus said some cool shit. Okay, he just did. He really did. He did some cool. If it was a real guy, which is debatable, right? It's not a lot of evidence that there was a real guy, right?
They wrote about him in the Talmud.
Did they? Mm-hmm. Oh, what else did they write about? Dragons? Anything about witches?
Oh.
Huh?
No.
About demons?
No.
No? Isn't that the one that tells you if
Other
you come,
books.
you're jerking off?
Kabbalah.
No? Oh, the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he was real. I think they did have historical evidence for him. But not the powers, not the walking on water.
Have you ever seen that movie? There's
Just
a
a guy
documentary.
who was talking a lot of shit.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, before the internet, you remember those videos of that sensei who's like, try to rush me, and just with one finger, he drives people back?
Right.
And they all fly, but it's clearly faked.
Yeah.
Before there were videos of that, they were just, dude, I heard this guy can knock off any attacker with one finger. And I don't have TV either, so I don't know what's real. That's what Jesus got big.
Well, here's the thing.
People were telling stories about him.
The idea of Jesus coming back from the dead, right? That was the big one, right?
That was probably one of the biggest ones he did.
Yeah. And then what?
3 days later.
And then what happens? He goes away? What happens then?
Yeah, I think he just they're like, oh, look, his body's not in here. He must have come back from the dead.
Couldn't be that hyenas ate his body or anything, right?
Yeah, or somebody just went and grave robbed.
Why don't you leave a body out in bare
No,
country?
no. He's back. He's alive again, and then he went to heaven. So he came back to life, went to heaven. Jamie, do you know?
Yeah, they put him in a tomb.
They put him in a
Yeah.
tomb,
Big
right?
rock in front
And
of it.
3 days later, the rock was
Yeah.
moved.
And someone saw him go up into heaven, full body.
Oh, this lying bitch.
And that's where the Dome of the Rock is, where
it's
he
that-
went up to heaven.
You know who saw him? Those lesbians in that club, in Vancouver. They were there. Their account is
These
totally
Canadian
verifiable.
tribunals have too much power.
Yeah, if you had a Canadian tribunal to discover whether or not Jesus ever came back to life, I just think if you came back to life, you should probably stick around and talk to people. Let them know that you did it. Look, I'm so for real. You guys crucified me. Not again, bitch. Come at me this time. I'm going to use my magic. I'm here to fix you guys. Come on. I died for your sins. Get it together, bitches. Nope.
Removing anything we know is not true from that.
How do you know it's not true?
Well,
you don't know shit.
From what you know of, let's say atheism
fucking
or Gnosticism.
hipsters.
That's a guy who got strung up for saying he was a Messiah, which he wasn't the only one at the time saying he was a Messiah. He got strung up for it, and he died. And then the followers had to keep hope alive. And whatever they did. But like, if it was a real person, then it's like, yeah, he got killed like a lot of people.
Well, it's so hard. It's so hard to recount the truth in an accurate way from things you've actually experienced.
Yeah.
Now
But
imagine
you can take the God out of it.
but imagine those stories of whoever
Yeah.
he was, counted down and retold by people that barely remember the
Weren't
original
even there.
version. They weren't even
Weren't
there.
even in the region.
They added their own bullshit to it, like people do. They added their own spice. They added their own rules. They added their own happy ending or sad ending or consequences of said action. You know, and Jesus said, if you do not cover from your eyes to your ankles, you shall be stoned to death and a dishonor killing. Like, people just add shit, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what the original message was and who the fuck it was that came up with it? It might have been just some really cool dude who wanted everybody to get along. And so they decided to kill this fucker because he's talking shit. Imagine if the Romans came to town, they got their swords, they're ready to kick some ass, and this fucking hippie is over here talking some stupid shit. No, dude, we're here to kill people. Okay, we're just going to nail you to this cross like we do thousands of other fucking people. As a matter of fact, they had... What was the story that... There's a story in History on Fire that Daniele Bolelli talks about, where the Romans, they put miles and miles of
dead
crucified bodies on this road.
Like in Game of Thrones.
Dude, it's horrific. When he recounts it, it's horrific. And they did that. So why would they give a shit about doing this to one other dude?
Yeah. Like,
You know,
some people
this is what
worship
they were
him. It's
doing.
like, well, let them do whatever they want. Who gives a
So
shit?
if you were in the town and there's this one cool guy who wants everybody to get along, you're like, man, I'm glad Jesus is here. He's talking sense. You know, we really should listen to him. Like, why are we being assholes? We really do. We need to appreciate our surroundings and
Yeah.
love each other like brothers and sisters. Oh, shit, dude, the Romans. Look over the hill. Fuck. And you look over the hill, you just see dust and horses, just thousands of them coming forth. And this dude's going to step up and try to talk
Lay
to these
down
people.
your...
Yeah, just chop his fucking dick off and stuff it up his nose. They're monsters.
That's why I love
they
Game of
just
Thrones.
kill.
They don't fuck around. They're not like... They were just like, this is how it would be.
Yeah.
A bunch of loose cannons.
Oh yeah,
You know?
People
No government oversight.
die. They
No
kill
cell
people for
phones.
no reason. Fuck
Why
you.
take the chance?
Oh, swords too. You die by the sword. Whoop. Heads and fucking arms get lopped off.
That's why I've always hated the crossbow. It takes too long to reload.
It's a bullshit weapon. It really is. Crossbows for pussies.
Does it offend you?
Get a fucking bow, folks. Seriously, a real bow and arrow.
Does it make you mad,
This
Walking Dead?
Meathead.
that
It
the guy
totally
has?
makes me mad. You know what makes me mad? The Walking Dead.
That he's one of the coolest
How
guys,
does
too.
how does that fucking arrow not get a pass through? Okay, he's shooting people in the bodies. He's
And it
shooting
always
them in the
sticks
head.
right in.
It always sticks in, and he pulls it right out. Listen, man, I ruin 3 or 4 arrows a week. A week. This guy has been out
He
there.
keeps finding new arrows.
Yeah, I shoot a lot of arrows, and sometimes when I'm practicing with new
It's Georgia.
new releases, I'm practicing
Yeah.
with new archery releases. Sometimes I hit rocks and shit.
And they just break.
Just break. I'm exaggerating the amount.
Do you
But
ever hit a
they-
rock on purpose to
but
see if
there's-
it'll, like, ricochet?
it just destroys the arrow. The arrow's going too fast, it just shatters and explodes. But my point being, like, this guy has the same goddamn arrows. Like, where's he? These arrows are gone, dude. You shot 100 zombies. You don't have any more arrows. You
You
just
ran.
don't. You're not going to pull them out and they're going to be perfect. First of all, you have field points, and that's bullshit anyway. You don't even have broadheads. Like, you're not even going to kill anything. You're just going to put a little pinhole in it. But
That's all you need. Just get through the brain.
he shoots him in the head, you know, and it just sticks right in there magically, and he pulls it right out. Like, what are their heads made of?
Yeah, I know. And where do they when they eat? What happens to the food? They don't.
Yeah.
Their bodies don't still work and process stuff. If
You
they
would
can work
be
just as a
way
head.
better off with a regular bow and arrow, because a regular bow and arrow, like, you can make your own bow and arrow that'd be better than that stupid fucking crossbow. You want something you could just load up like that and keep shooting. You
Yeah.
can shoot several times. That stupid thing, you got to grab it, you got to pull it. People just like it because it looks like Chewbacca's gun in Star Wars. It's some old schooly shit. Like, you
Yeah.
think, oh, that's even better than a bow and arrow. Bow and arrow is way better than a crossbow. Unless you're a pussy. You don't want to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow.
They
Just-
should, they should
it's way
have somebody in
difficult.
Walking Dead with an actual bow and arrow. Have those guys butt heads.
I mean, it's not a bad weapon if you want to kill something. Like, if you want to use it, like, if you're in a deer blind and you're trying to kill a deer and you want to show someone how to do it with a crossbow, it's a great weapon for that because it's really easy to do.
Have you seen Sebastian's bit about bow and arrow?
No, he's got a good bit. Don't tell me. Don't say it. Don't say I don't want
It
to.
might be
ruin
already recorded. You gotta
Oh,
look
really?
and see if you
Okay.
can find it.
Okay, I'll try to.
Oh, it's so funny. His act outs are so good.
He's hilarious. He's such a good dude too. It's cool seeing a guy like him.
You gotta look it up. See if
Okay,
it's up there.
I don't want to play it.
It is?
Yeah, I'll find it later. But for folks listening, go check it out.
But
It's
I mean,
online.
like, most people don't actually have a bow and arrow, so if anyone would like this bit, it'd be
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fucking funny, man. And he's a really nice guy too.
Yeah,
you know?
Sebastian's cool.
He's one of those guys where everybody likes him. I've never heard anybody doesn't like Sebastian. You know one person?
I didn't like Sebastian?
Yeah, ever?
No. No, his wife's cool too.
Yeah, very.
Artist.
Yeah, he's just. But he's also a guy that like really worked hard. That guy, he hustled, man. He made it happen for himself. He kept getting better.
The week
kept
I had
improving.
today. That was his catchphrase. He couldn't do a set without doing that.
He came in and did a podcast, and he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He was really
He's
funny.
so like particular.
Yeah, very particular. Like, what's going on with your fingernails? Like, he's just got.
He looks and it just bothers him. He's like, what is this? What is
Did
this?
you paint your fingernails, guy? Yeah, he's another guy that has like a very specific style.
He's clean
Yeah.
dice. Think about it.
Man, I don't know.
Think about it.
No, I'm gonna say no.
I've
No.
seen him before. Maybe it's just when he does crowd work. When he does crowd work, he lifts everybody up. Instead of that shirt's gross, he goes, that shirt's amazing. I could never get away with that shirt. Look at how gorgeous this guy. Your smile. You had all your teeth fixed, huh? Beautiful. It's just, he takes the opposite end of it and just gets the funny out of just being positive. It's
That's
weird.
interesting. That's in that sense, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in that sense. Which is exactly the exact opposite of what I used to love about watching Dice in the OR.
Just hurting
Late
people?
night, there'd be a guy, he'd go, look at you. Look at you. The last piece of pussy you saw is the last piece of pussy you're ever going to see. Trust me. It's over.
Trust me.
It's over. He would have a cigarette. It's over. Who's going to fuck you? Who's going to fuck? Let's be honest over here.
She shits on you. Believe me.
Who's gonna fuck you? You gonna pay for it? Yeah, you're gonna be sad. You're gonna fall in love with the hooker. You're gonna wanna bring her into your life and save her. Meanwhile, all the time she's getting cock when you're not looking. He would just go deep on
He
these
would
people.
get bad.
But it was fun. Like it was theater. It was theater. It didn't seem real, right?
No.
It's theater. Like it's a character that's doing this mean act on
Yeah, it's when you
people.
act like yourself on stage, people feel way more like, how dare you?
Yeah,
But when it's a complete
yeah.
character or a movie where it's like, this is all definitely
Yeah.
not true, so it's okay. It just seems more like reality. I think that's why people get mad or more stand up.
Look at you
Whatever.
over here. Oh! Is that good?
Yeah. Did you hear about Bowie dying?
Fuck. Yeah.
What'd you think of him?
I loved him.
Yeah. I saw the exhibit in Melbourne. This Bowie exhibit. It was,
He had some great songs,
Yeah.
man.
And just the way he dealt with like live performance and like getting costumers, like getting the world's best costumers, was like, I got to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, here's what I'm kind of doing now. I want you to design something with me.
I forgive him for dancing in the street
Dancing in the street.
with him and
all
Mick
over
Jagger.
Chicago.
I
dancing in
forgive
the
them.
street.
I forgive them for arguably the most confusing sexually, at least to a young man. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is happening with
Oh,
these?
he was always
who
trying
are
to
they?
do like, wait, is that guy
But
gay or
him and
straight?
Mick Jagger, I was like, what is this message? You're confusing the fuck out of me. I don't know what you guys are doing. I want to know, are you guys platonic friends who just start dancing for some strange reason? Or it seems like you're flirting with each other. Like, I need to know. I need to know. Because
He did that shit all the time.
Well, Mick Jagger's ex-wife got mean, said she found David Bowie in bed with Mick Jagger. So she told everybody. That's where, when you're a guy like David Bowie or Mick Jagger, it becomes really problematic being married to some normal person. Because she's got this amazing story. So what if they want to get together and figure out whether or not they're
And
gay?
David was like, oh yeah, I fuck all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, let's give this a shot. Let's see what the fuck happens. And meanwhile, this woman that Mick Jagger supposedly had some sort of a contract with, where they're not supposed to have sex with other people, she got all upset and she fucking puts them on blast all over the world. Probably put it in a book or something. How rude.
Yeah, they're right
You know?
next to each other.
Listen, that's privileged information, ma'am. That's not like regular people.
Yeah.
That's not like Bob, the guy who fixes bikes down at the bike shop, and Tim, who's the UPS driver who has friendly conversations with Bob,
And they got it
catching
on.
them fucking in the men's room. It's not. This is a bigger deal. This is going to affect the record companies. This is going to affect venues. Going to affect the people that sell tickets. There's a lot of jobs attached to these two people, and you're just being rude just because you're a petty cunt. What do you care? What do you care? Look at the way he's dressed. Of course he fucks guys. Jesus Christ. That's a shocker to you? Doesn't make him any less awesome. Makes him more awesome. Look at him. These guys are awesome.
Coming up from behind you there.
Can you imagine if you and I did a music video and we were doing this?
What is he doing?
How long
David
do you think
Bowie?
we could do this?
What is he sticking his fingers
You and
up in the air?
Duncan couldn't kiss each other for more than 2 seconds for a hilarious thing at a pay-per-view event. I mean,
My biggest
seriously.
regret is pulling away and laughing when I should have just. I didn't realize it. I thought the camera was
Did
gone.
you give him any tongue?
Yeah, I gave him a little.
Did you?
What do
Did
you
he
mean?
give it back?
You think I don't like Duncan?
But did he give it back?
We
Did you guys tongue?
We were locked in there, man.
I thought you guys were like just lips. I didn't know you went tongues.
You gotta sell it.
Oh, you sold it. What is
We
up
did
with
not
the
go
trench coat? Is he warm or cold or what is he? What is he? Because it seems like they're both in different climates.
Yeah.
Like David Bowie seems like he's in a rainy London sort of climate, but Mick Jagger's in the Keys.
Tropical,
He's
yeah.
in the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
He's having a good old time.
Yeah.
He's like listening to Jimmy Buffett music or some shit
Like
with his
68 at night.
blue pants. Look at what's going on with their butts.
Oh my!
What's that about? Why'd they freeze frame on that butt? Is that you? Did you do that, Jamie, or is that the actual video? That's how it ends? That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Or fortunate, depending on what you're really into. Dude, ground control to Major Tom. Come on, man. That's like
So
one
you know
of my
what he
all-time
did? So he had
favorite
this
songs.
Ziggy Stardust character, and he was all coked up. They had these Coke spoons as part of the exhibit.
Wow.
All of his Coke spoons. They didn't hide anything.
Did they really?
Yeah. So in his Coke rage or whatever he was in, he goes, there's this famous thing. He goes, not only is you guys have been a wonderful audience, and not only is this the last Ziggy Stardust show of the tour, but it is also, and the band has no idea what he's talking about, what he's going to say. He goes, this is also the last Ziggy Stardust show of all time. And then he plays his last song and gets off. And the band's like, wait, we're done? That's how you're telling
shit.
us? We're fucking done?
Holy shit. That sucks for the band.
Yeah. And then he went and started just being David Bowie.
Wow.
But he had this character that was huge, and they're like, what are you doing? Don't stop. He goes, fuck this. I'm an artist. I'm developing. I'm not going to stuck with that moneymaker forever.
Wow. Well, he had some fucking really amazing songs, man.
Amazing songs.
And they were so original.
Yeah. But his live performance, they showed him on the Top of the Pops, just this like androgynous shit on like a late night talk show. Not late night talk show, like just like a mainstream thing. And they're just like almost half kissing this guy. And people are like, wait, what the fuck was that? What did I just see?
Yeah, and the music was so unique. Mm-hmm. You know, his style was very specific, you know. It was very David Bowie. Yeah. Oh my God, what a great song that is. What a great song. Yeah, he was awesome, man.
And it wasn't like, okay, when Michael Jackson died, everyone was a Michael Jackson fan. Everybody.
Right.
When he died, it was sad, whatever. But he wasn't still making music and stuff, you know? So it was like, oh, it's too bad he passed, but it was either then or 30 years later. We weren't going to miss out on anything. David Bowie released an album last Tuesday.
Did he really?
Yeah. It's just the first hit is just on the radio right now. He still has stuff that's being planned for radio releases in the next, few months. Like, there was a rollout scheduled.
Fucking cancer, man.
He did a lot of stuff.
Allegedly.
I don't even think he hid from it.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. Did you see the Sean Penn thing? Sean
With
Penn
El
went to El
Chapo.
Chapo. Sean Penn, I've completely changed my opinion about him.
What?
I think he was a blowhard. When he did that Chris Rock thing, I was very critical of him.
Yeah,
I
but
was
now?
like, because Chris Rock made a joke. And he's doing his monologue, and he made a joke about Jude Law.
Yeah.
And Sean Penn comes out and goes, well, the reason
Jude
why
Law is
Jude
one of
Law
our greatest
works is one of
actors.
our great. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I goofed on him. But that fucking guy went to Mexico, to the jungle, to meet El Chapo and interview him and write about it for Rolling Stone.
Wow. Just to be a journalist?
Dude, he has everything to lose. He's got a family, he's got children, he's got money, he's got fame, he's got everything. He has no reason to want to do this, and he decides to do it. He decides to be, and people are
He did it with
criticizing.
Congo too,
People
right?
are criticizing him in this really bizarre way. First of all, they said one of these guys said, I read this tweet about it where he's saying, "I wonder how Sean Penn feels about real journalists being killed." because the narcos have killed journalists that report on them. Well, guess what? He's risking his life. Like, you don't think they would think it would be funny to kill Sean Penn? Like, if somehow or another Sean Penn had irritated El Chapo and El Chapo decided to have him killed.
He must have known the risk of that. This guy doesn't care. El Chapo got out in tunnels. I heard he was hiding out in Justin Martindale's asshole.
I don't think Justin Martindale's asshole is that little.
No, I'm saying that's the series of tunnels
you
he
could
dug
find
out
him if you looked in there.
Oh, right.
I mean that big.
So he interviewed El Chapo? That's cool. He
Dude,
went to
he went to
Afghanistan during the beginning of the war, too, right? Or Iraq? One of those two? To interview people on the street?
I'm not sure about that. I wasn't aware of that. But what he did with El Chapo was he got in touch with some Mexican actress who knows El Chapo. She's probably got El Chapo inside of her, you know what I say? And El Chapo arranged a meeting, and they had like specific conditions, like he had to read the story before it's published, which they've never granted before with Rolling Stone. They don't do that. Wow. And they agreed to it because it's just like such a crazy
Otherwise, he said legally, I'm not going to let you.
Well, not only that, it's Sean Penn is interviewing him, but all these journalists are mad. And like, what is Sean Penn responsible for the fact that El Chapo has killed other people? Like, he shouldn't be sitting down and talk. You don't want to see a conversation between Sean Penn and this killer guy. Yeah. He is being a journalist.
He's a killer, but okay, let's interview him. What journalists would get Manson.
What is this catty shit? Like, real journalists? Like, don't say that. Like, that guy. That's a crazy risk he took. Yeah. Undeniably crazy risk. Yeah. It's not just cattiness for anybody to shit on it. Like, to say that he shouldn't have done that. Like, he's not going to keep people alive by not going there. And in fact, they believe that the paper trail or the electronic trail of them setting this up is probably what led to them capturing El Chapo in the first place.
Oh, really?
Which they just did. The whole thing
again,
plays
they
out.
did again?
Yes, they
he
just
escaped
did.
And then he just caught him.
They only caught him like 2 days ago.
Oh.
And they caught him like right as this story is coming
and
out.
Who's trying to catch him? Americans still?
It's almost like fucking Rolling Stone set up El Chapo to make their storytelling even better, Jamie. So are you thinking that? I can't believe you're saying that. I don't know why you would say that, because I don't think the world works that way. It's just, God, Jamie's like conspiracies.
Do they still have the extradition stuff?
Oh yeah, they want to. The United States is going to give Mexico like a bunch of
because he makes drugs that come here.
Because he sold drugs in America, so we get to pull them out of his country of jurisdiction because they can't keep that fucker locked up. We can keep him locked up. They're like, enough.
Can you guys help us with this? With holding this Joker?
He fucking escaped twice. We're done with this. Yeah. Let's stop. I just, I've completely changed my opinion on Sean Penn. Where are you going, pee?
Yeah.
I knew it.
The interview was in October.
Go pee. It was in October? Yeah, but it's just coming out now, right?
Yeah, which might be added to why would Rolling Stone release it now?
Conspiracy, my brother. It's the Illuminati controls all of the media.
Do you think he can get in trouble for doing this at all?
Sean Penn?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Look, man, he just got a story with one of the biggest drug dealers, or apparently the biggest drug dealer, if he's to be believed, that's ever lived, other than the CIA, that's ever lived, allegedly. Come on, man. I mean, of course you can get in trouble for that. That's a dangerous move. Like, anybody that says that what Sean Penn didn't take any courage is crazy. And anybody who's why criticize it? Just look at it what it is. He had a conversation with a known gangster of incredible reputation. I mean, that's what that guy is. He's a known gangster of incredible reputation. And Sean Penn met him in the jungle in Mexico. You don't think that's a ballsy move? That's like one of the ballsiest moves that a person can do as a journalist. But what Sean Penn did. But to do it as a movie star, a fucking guy who's won Oscars, or at least an Oscar, right? He's won an Oscar, right? I think so, yeah. Look, he's a bad motherfucker. I rescind my previous criticism.
Very big of you.
I heard that it's obviously a conspiracy thing, but I heard that the Mexican government might have let El Chapo out to get the cartels and gangs under control, because once they arrested him, there was a vacuum. And now that he was out, he got everything wrapped up. Now they pull him back in, which is why he's been arrested again.
Jamie's with his conspiracies over here.
I heard this on the radio today.
How dare you? How dare you repeat these? Probably. Who the fuck knows? I don't think they let him out. I think somebody paid a shitload of money to have somebody dig a tunnel, and I don't think they do a good job of watching their prison. That's most likely. Or there's probably some people in on it. Probably got paid too. Definitely, right? That's why they want to keep him here in the good old U.S. way. We got him locked down, Ari. We're done with this shit. We're gonna take him down to Quantico, put him down in that fucking place we got there in the bottom of the Denver airport. That's where he is.
Oh yeah,
in that Denver airport prison. Yeah,
the place they always talk about. I want to see that place.
Yeah,
that holding cell.
I'm pretty sure it's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's probably a jail down there. I think a lot of
Soldier
airports
Field
have
had
a jail. Wow, a lot of It doesn't Fenway Park have a jail too? I might have made that up. I don't know.
I can see that.
But yeah, so El Chapo got captured, and Sean Penn.
That's
wrote
pretty cool. Then he went down there and fucking.
Yeah, it's not the best story. Writing needs a little work. It's a little dry in points. But
you still say it's wrong
honest.
for him to go like he's one of our finest actors.
What he did was just unnecessary, and he was just trying to stand up for a guy that he has deep respect for in his craft.
Who doesn't get comedy,
right? But it's his craft. He doesn't have to to be who he is, to be able to do Harvey Milk, and to also be able to do the Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the Irish Mob guy. Like he obviously knows how to get into his work. He doesn't do a shit job. Like he's not doing an American Sniper, right? Yeah. Have you ever seen a movie where he plays it where it seems like he's just phoning it in? Like moments you saw American Sniper, you're like, this is not real. You know? Like you don't see Sean Penn in those movies. No. In that, like when here's the scene where you were criticizing, the Bradley Cooper scene where the girlfriend was banging another guy and it just seems all fake. Could you imagine Sean Penn in that scene? No, of course you can.
Yeah.
He would figure out how to make it more
real.
Better
shut up, brother.
He would figure out how to make it more real, or he wouldn't be doing it. Like his quality of work is definitely to be respected. Like there's a few guys like that have that. Daniel Day-Lewis, him, Russell Crowe. There's a few people that have this ability to like transform into like Mariel Hemingway.
Oh yeah, Russell Crowe puts out some stuff. Although he's always
Faye Dunaway. Faye Dunaway, like from the beginning, man. You ever watch?
Dude, that's the original Stoner. That's the original rendition of a Stoner. The Fast original. Times. Like everyone else is doing an impression of that now.
I'm so wasted. Remember when he beats the sneaker, gets his head? That was my head.
That was my head.
Did you
Harsh.
Did you ever see Chinatown? Faye Dunaway.
I don't know.
Good Lord, Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway in Chinatown. Holy shit. Yeah, there's some fucking people. You know who's that broad that's in all the Coen Brothers movies? She's really awesome. She was in Fargo. She's amazing.
Oh yeah. With the accent.
God damn it.
She was in the movie Fargo.
She's been in everything. Yeah, she's been in the movie really Fargo. Good. Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
Yes, she's one of those people that become.
Kathy Bates.
I don't care that I know who it is. Like she's so good. Like
you lose yourself.
Yeah, if I go to see a movie and I'm like, oh, that's that guy. How'd that guy get to play that guy? Yeah. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like wait a minute. Seth Rogen is Steve Wozniak? No, he's not. It's Seth Rogen. Like what's going on here? He's playing somebody. It's not that Seth Rogen's not good, but you know what I mean? Like I know who he is. But she's so goddamn good, you don't care who she is. You don't care that it's Frances McDormand. When she's playing a role, you buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. You're locked up in it, which is way harder to do. It's way harder to do when you don't know who the person is. Like in Ex Machina, I didn't know who any of these fucking people were. So it was perfect. Oh, right. It just slipped right in. But if one of those people had been Tom Cruise and the other one was Nicole Kidman, it'd be like, come on. Like this, I know who you are, fucker.
So it's hard to see whenever your friends book anything, and you're watching a movie and you see like Diaz or anybody Mazur Brownie, like but it's real hard to get lost in it.
Yeah, almost impossible.
When you know them.
Well, plus it's not fun to get lost in it. It's fun to go, what's up, Maz?
Oh my God,
it's Mazur Brownie. Yeah, that's what's fun, right?
Yeah.
God damn it, Ari Shaffir. Are you enjoying your newfound success?
Yeah, man, it's been great. I get a little worried about certain things I keep track of.
You're traveling all over the world, though.
Traveling all over the world is real fun as shit. I'm trying to do... I realized I made this promise with Paul Morrissey, a few years ago. We were in Denmark for some comedy festival. Nope, excuse me. We were in Montreux, Switzerland for some comedy festival.
Wow.
And then we went to Amsterdam afterwards, and just for fun. And we were like, let's go to 2 new countries every year.
Wow. Just to visit or to work?
Whatever.
Either one.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I'd like to do in another country is see what it's like to do comedy there.
You should do a show in Thailand.
I did a show in Thailand.
How many shows?
Just one in Bangkok.
How was it?
Fun as shit.
Wow.
That was a lot more Thai people were there than in China. China was all expats, maybe one Chinese person.
Wow.
Hong Kong has a mix. But like Thailand, they speak some English.
Dude.
So I might do a show in India this year.
Fuck yeah. They speak English in India. That's how when you get your computer fixed.
Yeah, English. That's
You're
what I'm
calling
saying.
India.
Yeah, in India, everybody speaks English, so they don't have to. They do it for not just expats, but
By the way,
locals.
if you have an American Express issue, you're talking to someone in India. It's
pretty crazy.
I found that out.
And they
Isn't
renamed
that
them.
wonderful?
They renamed them.
My name is Fred.
Uh-huh.
I am here to take your order. What is the problem with your phone card?
You're like,
What is
come on,
this?
man.
American Express. That is, again, racist.
offensively
Just
racist.
like he was saying the sumo sword. This is more racist. You're appropriating an accent.
No, it's racist. They rename those people.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
clearly.
they don't think Americans
My name
can
is
handle.
Fred. Doesn't someone have a bit on that? Someone has a bit.
I had a bit. I used to have a bit about it.
Was it you?
Yeah.
You know, Eddie Bravo had a real problem with those people at one point in time. And, you know, Eddie Bravo is a real trickster. He's hilarious. Like, Eddie must have ordered, like, a prescription medication and used his cell phone as the phone number. You know, like when you get a prescription, like, what number do you leave? He left his cell phone. So somehow or another, this is like in the early 2000s. And somehow or another, that got sold as a list. You know how that happens? Where they'll find out, like, oh, this guy buys prescription drugs, or this guy has solar panels in his house. Like, for whatever reason, you get a list. That was like a big issue with people. They would sell your information.
Yeah, sure.
So he started getting all these phone calls from pharmacies. And there were these people that barely spoke English. And they're trying to sell him prescription drugs. Because this was during the day, like, where there was kind of a Wild West period where you'd buy all your drugs from Canada and overseas, and they would ship them. And so you could get things without a prescription, like really heavy stuff without a prescription. And so Eddie would keep these people on the phone forever. I mean, forever. He would have these conversations with them and pretend that, like, some noise is going on in the background, and he would talk to them and say, what do you have that I can use? Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. I have to clean my feet. And then he would go and, like, put the phone down for like 5 minutes and go take a leak. He would get something to drink, and then he'd come back to it and then start talking to them about what different drugs. Like, I just, what do you have that gets your dick hard? Do you have anything that gets your dick hard? And, like, he would have these, like, crazy conversations with these people. And they would go on forever, man. And he would be laughing. He would hold the phone up to his chest. And he loves playing tricks like that on people, especially, like, he felt he had the green light because they're contacting him.
Yeah.
So he would drag it on forever.
And they can't hang up, too, unless you curse.
Exactly. So he was dragging it on forever. And he would go to, like, give them an address to send it to, or a credit card number. And then he would, like, have some ridiculous excuse he had to put the phone down. He put the phone down for like 10 minutes and then go back to it and pick it up again. He would keep doing it. And he would
sorry,
always,
just
like,
1 second. I need to deal with this.
yeah, he'd have, like, crazy fake arguments, you know, like,
In the
he'd
background?
hold the phone down and fucking scream and yell, and then, you know, say he was about to get raped and can you call the police? And
Did he record him?
no,
It was just for fun.
Just kept doing it
for the pure
fun.
art of it.
He would do it for, like, I'm telling you, man, he did a bunch of them.
I sort of remember those.
You remember
I sort of
those?
remember those, yeah.
Dude, he would get
Yeah.
excited when the phone would ring. Hello?
Well, so what does
oh
this
my
drug
God,
do?
I'm so glad you guys called me.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just don't have that kind of patience. I don't have that mind either.
Yeah, you
That's
got to be
not-
bored. You should be bored.
You got to be crazy. In a different way. He loves doing that, though. He gets such a kick out of doing that. Or he did. I'm sure now he's too busy. But it's hilarious. Yeah. They don't do that anymore, do they? Do you
No,
get
they
calls?
don't call you. It's supposed to not have your cell phone. It's
Oh,
supposed to be
is that
like,
what it
you're
is?
not supposed to call my cell phone ever. That was like a law change.
Imagine if they didn't.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I think it only came for when people didn't have unlimited phone calls. It wasn't like a
Oh,
standard.
right,
And so then it
because
was
they
like, hey,
can-
you're using up people's fucking time and money.
That's actually a good argument to keep it the way it is.
Yeah.
'Cause
Because
if-
now they can be like, what? What's the difference?
Because if it's free, if you get all the minutes in the world all the time, then people are free to contact you for no reason.
Dude, even fax machines. As soon as we had fax machines, within however long, it was spam. Just like someone's sending you some fucking ad.
You remember when you would call someone, the fax machine would answer? Uh-huh. You'd be like, you motherfucker!
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Shaffir, we're out of time. We've got to wrap this bitch up.
Can I plug some dates or something?
Fuck yeah! You just ran your hour special, or you ran
I just
it
ran my new hour, yeah.
in the belly room.
Yeah.
I walked in for a little bit, saw
nice.
the cell phone bit. It was hilarious.
Oh, thanks.
It was going well.
Thanks.
So when are you ready to do another one?
I'm doing it. My hour on the road now is pretty solid. Like, I don't feel like the crowd's not getting
So
full good show.
you're
But
gonna,
I'm
like-
deciding when I want to do it. I think I'm
Right.
going to hold off till October. Because I'm going to do it in Edinburgh
Oh, in Edinburgh.
for a month.
Say it right, though. Don't say Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
They'll get mad.
Edinburgh.
They're like, you fucker, you're from here, stealing our money.
So I don't want to waste that time
Right.
on the material. I'm like, I'm going to run it 25 times in the UK. That would make it stronger.
Yeah, we'll definitely adapt you to that environment too.
Yeah.
You know, you get a groove, like what audiences are like in different countries, and you're there for a few days, especially.
My last special, I ran in 10 countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful Shaffir.
Yeah. I like, getting it to everybody and seeing if it works everywhere.
It's a smart move, man. It's smart because you know how guys in one town, they'll develop a style that's suitable to one town.
Like we started on 3rd Street.
Yeah, it might not work in Chicago. They're like, what the fuck is 3rd Street? I don't know what you're talking about.
I have this bit about apartment brokers in New York, and it's like, I've got to make it work outside of New York.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Regional material's hard.
But anyway, every 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing my storytelling show at the Belly Room.
Oh, shit.
The 19th is the next one, and then whatever, it's 2 weeks after that. But I've got Irvine, I'm doing my hour, but I'll be in Denver.
AriTheGreat.com.
AriTheGreat.com for tickets.
Or AriShaffir.com.
Be in Denver with Steve Simone the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st.
At the Comedy Works?
At the Comedy.
Greatest club on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
Or one of them.
Indianapolis, Tempe.
Everything's the greatest.
Everything's at AriTheGreat.com.
AriTheMotherfuckingGreat.com.
And if you like sports, check out the sports podcast I do with Sam Tripoli and Jason Tebow called Punch Drunk Sports.
Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen.
We have Nate
There's
Diaz
more.
and Nick Diaz calling all the time.
And how about the Skeptic
GSP.
Tank? The Skeptic Tank, your podcast. Don't
Ari
forget
Shaffir Skeptic
that.
Tank.
That's right.
That's another good one.
He's got a fucking podcast too. You
This
fucks.
week, coming out later today, I guess, is the Ari Shaffir interview by Danish and O'Neill.
Good googly moogly, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's it.
You
Good
listen
night.
to it sometimes. Thanks.
I do. I listen to your podcast all the time.
That's cool.
Good night, you fucks. We love you. See
night,
you
you
tomorrow.
fucks.
Bye bye. That was fun, dude.